Good day, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Viper of Viperland, and I'm back here with Chaos Child. We left off on an ending. Part one of the endings of this character, and we're going to hit the other part when this one's done. So yeah. Kinda left us with a cliffhanger for about a week, but we're back. Also, short thing for both those here live and anybody watching the archive. Watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. Don't look up anything about it. Don't look up anything about it. Just watch the movie. Just watch the movie. Just watch the movie. Cool? Cool. Alright. Also, hey Ramen, welcome to Viperland in the chat, and thank you for, what was that? It was 58 months, wasn't it? 58 heckin' months resubscription? Jeez. Thank you, obviously. Hope you're still enjoying all Viper goodies we got over here, and the support is much appreciated. This was a rough cliffhanger, but it was good to know ahead of time that, like, it would have gone on for a little while longer. It was because I was like, oh, it's going to end in like a minute or two. Like, we're so close, it's going to end in a minute or two. And it obviously wasn't. So, while the cliffhanger sucked, I made the right choice for my waking self at work. So, you know, pros and cons. Guess we're just going to get right back into sad times. We left off with her killing her imaginary self. I was trying to save him because he had killed her, so she trapped herself in this dream world where everything was okay and mistakenly pulled him in with her, because that happens sometimes, you know. Everyone is insane. Also, Everything Everywhere All at Once is insane, but it's great insane. You should totally watch it. Sad Uki gonna die though? Yeah. I mean, there's another ending to this one. And there's 4 bad endings for this? I think there's 4 bad ends from this one ending. Yep, 4 bad ends from this ending, and we're getting them all. Cool. It was all I could do to come here at all. What are you saying? She pointed to the D-sword in my hand with a shaking finger. Negative side is any better? Oh, yeah. Well, no, there's another route for this ending, and on top of that, there's 4 bad ends on this route. We get 3 choices in this route. We can get 4 bad ends from those 3 choices. Kunosato said that the D-sword was like a bridge connecting delusion and reality. That doesn't... So, if you follow it, you'll end up back in the real world. I can go back to the real world with you, right? So come with me. Uki was sitting on the floor, reaching out a shaking hand. She was reaching for a broken pot. It had shattered during the fight, and the Schlafria was lying on the floor looking sad. Oh, the plant, yeah, duh. Somehow it seemed like it was just like Uki herself. Thank you for this. It was nothing at all. But before I could say another word, Uki, it made me happy. Uki collapsed to the floor. And then the world started to fall apart. The ground and the sky started to roar and shake. And everything was pulled back into a pre-quantum state of possibility. Also, Grim, hot damn! How you doing? Thank you for 55 heckin' months. Jeez. Yeah. Ramen just tends to know. Ramen just seems to know when I'm setting up and have OBS open, so likes to do theirs before the stream and just jump scare the pants off of me, because, you know. Thanks. But how you doing, Grim? Thank you for 55 months of free subscription. Jeez. That said, considering how many gifted months Grim has, if those all attributed to Grim, Grim would have more months than... At this rate, Grim would have more months by probably more than double. No, like triple? Than I've actually been live. Like, actually been... Because Grim's up to almost... over 275 gifted subs, right? So we can round it down to about 300. If 60 is the highest anyone has right now, Grim has like 5 times that for gifted subs, which is a powerful thing. Oh, okay. Well, okay. Oh, okay, 249. I thought it was higher for some reason. Oh, because I knew you were next to a threshold, but my mind blanked on what threshold. Yeah, it's... Oh boy. Well, 6 years is what people are coming up to. The 60 months is 6 years. No, it's 5 years, right? Yeah, it's 5 years. Not 6. Still, boatload. Also, congrats ahead for getting the gifted sub shotgunned into the dark. There are other ways to check that, Grim, by the way. Just saying. There are other ways to check that number. Mind you, that works, so... Jeez. I don't know any other way. Well, damn. I don't know why the bot said gifting a 11 subscriptions, because clearly this shows the actual number, so bot's high, you know. Well, there you go. That still brings it to over 300, which would be 5 times more than anyone else. Which is bananas. Which is bananas. But I hope you're doing well tonight, Grim. Thank you for the gifted sub. Oh, well. Okay, Robin. Okay. That works too. You got 89. See, not JoJo. Not JoJo. We have non-JoJo things. We just tend to notice the JoJo. But obviously, Grim, thank you. Grim, thank you for the gifted sub. Ramen, thank you for the gifted sub. Grim, thank you for the resubscription. Thank you both. Hope you're both having damn good weekends and ready for the emotional destroying that this game is. Yeah. At least it was JoJo when it counted. Yeah, it's funny because... Oh, well, okay. Now I gotta go on the Discord and give Grim another ticket. So, you know, I guess I gotta do that. It's 250. I can't believe there was somebody with that name. Hold on, because I know I'll forget, so let's just get that ticket going. I've learned to not wait on those. Grim is up to 3 heckin' tickets. And 250 gift. There you go. Cool. Well, geez, this poor room has been dissolving for minutes. Yeah, hope nobody's got, like, issues with shaking objects and motion sickness. They would have looked away by now. They'd looked away and been like, Viper, just keep reading. Hit the button, Viper. Hit the button, Viper. Viper, you gotta hit the button. Come on, Viper. I'm getting motion sickness. Thank you both a ton. I can't believe there's a It's 250 out there, though. But I feel like there's a name for everything. Ramen specifically has gifted some interesting names out there. I didn't actually read that, did I? Everything dissolved into ones and zeros and fell apart. The end of the world was inescapable, and it was almost upon me. I desperately tried to grab her tiny body, but her outline started to blur. The matter that made up her body was dissolving like sand being blown away by the wind. It was turning back into ones and zeros, and disappearing as if it had never been there. I stabbed the D-sword into the floor and clung to it to help myself stay standing. The world's going fine, yeah. And soon the destruction came for me as well. It felt like my body was being ripped apart. A wave of annihilation enveloped me. As it does. And all my senses blacked out. Everywhere I looked there was nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The void. Or perhaps, was this the Dirac Sea, where all things would someday return? I was wandering in endless void. Particles of light were flowing upwards all around me. Excuse me. Even in this form, I could tell exactly what they were. This was Uki. No, that wasn't quite right. It was the memories that made her up. The memories poured into my brain like a rushing torrent. The young Uki. Her parents had brought her to a strange building, and she was sitting there confused as the adults around her bowed their heads low to the floor. A gloomy room filled with cement and metal. Dozens of horrible devices. Experiments, but even then she was smiling when she was with her friends. The young Yuki, and others too. Then the earthquake and the destruction. A sealed room. Screaming adults. Fear of reality and longing. Two colliding desires. Want you to stay pure, innocent, and untainted, and take care of us forever. She subconsciously rebooted that desire. That would be why she never got older. That would be why, like, she still looks considerably younger than she is. And that's what had happened to her body. Still, she accepted everything. Even her own fate. So it had nothing to do with the experiments on her. Which is what I had assumed. The world turned pure white, and began to be rebuilt again. I clutched the T-sword tightly with my fingers, just like Uki had told me. Come on, Kuru. No, I just heard him go, What? These voices. Takeru? They were calling out for me over and over. What? You guys are so loud. Dad, Takeru's opened his eyes. He did. I'll be right there. The world began to regain its color. Takeru, do you know me? Do you know who I am? You're very loud. Of course I do, Kurusu. Takeru, what about me? What about me? Who are you again? Just kidding. Oh no, hey. You dick. I mean, again, knowing what we know now, she clearly deserves it, but also clearly would see through his ruse. But also, he doesn't know that. You dick. Ow! That hurts. Come on, what kind of idiot jumps on someone right after they got out of a coma? But... Dad ran through the curtain separating the beds and pulled Sarika off me, then peered down at my face. You're fully conscious, I see. As he started to give me an exam, I looked down at my hand. It was still in the shape it had been when it was holding the D-sword. I'm glad you woke up. That's right, do you know how worried we were? These two kept calling your names so that we wouldn't lose you. I wonder how long he was actually out. Yeah, thanks, I heard your voices. Nah, it's nothing. Anything for you, Taku. Lines that sum up characters. Anything for you, Taku. That's right, I don't want to lose any more of my family. Kurusu's voice suddenly cut off. And any more. Was she talking about Yui? And one more person. Where's Uki? I sat up and asked. She said she was sleeping next to me. Takeru, listen to me. Uki is... A cold sweat appeared on my body when I heard those words. It couldn't be. Maybe she was already... I slowly looked around. And there she was. I could see her resting quietly on the other end of the curtain that separated our beds. Her eyes were shut, and there were tubes attached all over her body. I could hear a monitoring device near her, beeping at regular intervals. She was alive, but then why had Kurusu and Sarika acted that way? What did that... Listen to me, Takeru. No, you don't have to tell him now. No, it's okay, Onoe. I kept my eyes on Uki as I spoke. Kurusu, tell me, where is Uki? I had been ready for it. When I saw it for real, I still didn't want to believe, but I had to face it anyway. This wasn't the dream world anymore, and she was the one who told me to come back. Uki survived, but Kunosato said her brain was badly damaged. Tell me straight, Kurusu, is Uki going to get better? I'm sorry, but at this rate... She slowly shook her head. Instantly my heart felt like it was going to freeze. I'm sorry, but I tried to understand the meaning of those words. Uki would never wake up again. She would never talk again. She would never smile again. Never... I forced my aching body out of the bed. I'm fine. Sarika and Kurusu rushed to support me, but I waved them away. Like a sleepwalker, I staggered over to Uki's unconscious body. I mean, they weren't trying to stop you. You could at least lean on somebody. Her breathing was irregular, but steady. The machine was beeping. I couldn't see a single scratch on her face, She looked as if she could open her big round eyes and laugh any second. But suddenly I was assaulted by a wave of emotion. I softly touched her cheek. Her silent body was so warm and all I did was cry. For a girl who said that other people's happiness was what made her happy. For a girl who'd risked her life to save me. In my dreams, I was able to live the life I always wanted, even if it was just for a short time. For the girl who'd smiled as she said those words. Was there anything I could have done for her? Could I have given her happiness? Thank you for this. It made me happy. Another happy, uplifting ending. And the days passed. Many springs and many summers, and many autumns came. No winters. Winters suck, clearly. Alright, I'll be off. Bye. Take care. The weather's nice again today. Let's go, Uki. Oh. There's a lot of people over there, so we'll go this way. Or would you rather we went over there? Also, hey Kaleido, how's it going? Yeah. Got it, we'll go over there. Shortly after, Uki's body had recovered to the point where we could take her off life support. But it was only her body that recovered. She didn't talk or laugh, she just stared into space like a doll. Her mind had gone someplace far away and still hadn't come back. Kunosato said it probably never would, and she was probably right. My one wish was that wherever she was, she found the world she'd always wanted. Nobody around Taku-ken either. All I could do was pray and spend each day with her. It was the only way I could atone. Oh, Taku! Turned around just in time to see Serika run up to us. Hey. Going for another walk? Yeah. Cool, the weather is nice. Serika smiled at Uki and then looked up at the bright sky. Sorry, haven't been able to hang out as much lately. Huh? I don't mind, as long as you're okay with things. Serika looked at me. You are okay with things, right? I guess you wouldn't have to say it. I gotta learn to just hit the button before I say something. I gotta really learn to hit the button before I say something. You are okay with things, right? And of course, the best thing would be for Uki to get better, but that was too much to hope for now. Also, hey 7th, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in chat. How you doing tonight? So I would do what I could for her. Welcome to sad. Yeah, I guess. This is the path I've chosen. Okay, that's good enough for me then. Serika smiled, satisfied at my answer. Alright, I'll be going. See you later, Uki. Ciao. She said a word she'd probably picked up from someone else, wonder who it could possibly have been, and left. I watched her go, and then we started to walk again. We took each step slowly and carefully. Alright, so then Yuto... and then Dad. No matter what I said, there was never an answer, but I kept talking, and waiting for the day when she would someday come back. Excuse me. Oh? Just happy times. I stopped in front of a small store. I spotted a planter, and I'd seen a certain plant lined up in front of the others in the florist. A Celefria. It was the plant I'd given to Uki as a present for her room. Made me happy. I thought I heard her voice and quickly turned to look at her. Yeah, doesn't it? But I just imagined it. Everything is yellow. Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's not... And then... Uki? Eyes like glass beads quivered for a moment. And a single tear ran down her cheek. She didn't speak, her expression didn't change, but still, she was there. And someday... Hey, Uki? The world was constantly growing, expanding and evolving. Even if it left the two of us behind, I'd spend my days with her, and believe that someday she would come back to us. Until then, I'll spend my life taking care of you, so that someday you can be happy. Close from the delusion I wrote. Yeah. I didn't know if that day would ever come, but until then, I would keep believing. Always. So yeah, more happy times. As we all know, I'm assuming we're gonna get the same Serica line at the end.
ねえ、タク、叶えられた？
Mm-hmm.
やりたいこと。
Dream Sky End. Alright, so now for part B. The first time through I just wanted to go straight through, but we're also going to hit the bad ends as we go. So. Where about? Stayed at start. Started here. I specifically saved it at the start because they were like, save it at the start, so I was like, cool. Time to have more fun. We starting with a bad end, by the way. We starting straight up with a bad end. First one is just negative delusion here. There you go. Die! You're going to die too! Ito having fun? She'll make this delusion real. Yup! Ito, stop it! I tried to scream, but my mouth was no longer capable of forming words. The only sound I made was the sound of blood gurgling out of my mouth. I feel like every single VA in this game has had a chance to just go nuts. Soon, Yamazoe's scream stopped, and I felt something land on top of my body. Oh. Alright. UK Yamazoe Bad End 1. Yeah, that would do it. Okay. Wasted no time with that one, huh? Just... Nope. Okie dokie. Alright, so now we do positive again for it. Just get my list up here so I know... Let's see, what was it? It was... For the right way through, we have to do... So the actual route we need to take for this is positive, negative, positive. For the bad ends, we have to do negative, which we just did. Negative and neutral are each ones for the third route. And another bad route is positive, neutral, positive. So we have a few different ways we gotta go through it. Either way, we have to do positive on this one to go forward. Obviously, because the negative didn't work. Negative kinda hit us with a bad end, didn't it? So we got the positive there. Butterfly. We'll save at the second one, because we can do neutral positive to get a bad end. So I guess we'll see. And then all the other ones are all based around the final one. Still can't believe Hana never did that in the main line, just type something out. Only dreams. Only dreams. It is a little funny. I feel like... I'm blanking on names because that's just how I do. Damn it. Arimura. Serica and Arimura are closer friends in the delusion than they ever were in the real world. and it specifically cuts on Serica saying ciao at the end. But let's be honest, she picked it up even in the main line. She did. But I feel like it has more weight here because they specifically only, like, they showed how much they became more friends here. So I don't know. But she definitely picked it up in the main line too. Like, for sure she started saying that in the main line. Saving here. Because the bad end is neutral, right? Neutral at Taku's base. So just, we just don't pick anything. Careful, cut open the top of the letter and take a deep breath. Always been watching you. I love you, Miyashiro. Would you please be my boyfriend? But when I looked at the bottom of the letter, I froze. There was an 11-digit number, and next to it, I'll be waiting for your answer. A message. A phone call, huh? Probably from an Atelier game, Robin, I assume. Just, a phone call was a very dark and scary thing for me. But she told me her feelings and was waiting for my answer. As a gentleman, I had to respond. Wonder where they're credited? I don't know. We'll have to take a look. It's probably in this ending. There's still a chance that it was a prank Ito and Serica were playing on me. I need to make a call just to be sure. Carefully enter the number on the paper into the phone, then tap the call icon with shaking hands. I waited for a while, but there was no sign that she'd pick up. Just as I went to hang up, the rest of stuff happens. Couple heroines and some other VNC raid. Okay, makes sense. Alright, so we have to do positive for the last one. Then we go back to that point and pick negative. Alright, positive. I don't know if we can get the other endings here. I don't know. Let's check. Or should we commit to this one? Oh! Glad I saved. Because I'm a scrub. No, actually, I guess I could have. Let's go negative here, which should get us a bad end. A different bad end than the one we were just going for. Who was that? Turned around. Of course! I froze in place when I saw who it was. The temperature of my body dropped rapidly and my heart turned ice. Thankfully, she's got a cure for that. It was her. Riko Haida, the pyrokinetic I thought was dead. My stomach started to shake from the tension. The terror dried up in my throat and all the nerves in my body seemed to short out. My knees were shaking. I needed to run, or she'd kill me. She'll melt your frozen heart for sure. She'd kill me. Well, but the sheer hatred in her eyes overwhelmed me to the point where I couldn't move a single muscle. I couldn't move. Everything was stuck in place. My body wasn't moving, even though I told it to. It's all your fault. Die! The one in front of me said nothing, but it felt like I could hear her whispering to me. A scream burst from my throat, and the next second... my body burst into flames. Wow. Strangely, there wasn't that much pain. Okay. This is the line that is supposed to convey that, strangely, there wasn't that much pain. That's the sound I make when there's not that much pain for me. Definitely. But my brain was telling me clearly that I was in mortal danger. Okay, fine, game. Got it. I understand. I keep saying things and not going to the next line when the next line just goes, Viper, shut up. I get it. I get it. I understand. There's the terrible smell of scorching protein and burning hair. Burns do a lot more damage to the body than people think. Burns over just half the body were enough to kill you. From the intensity of the heat, I could tell that over 80% of my body had been burned. And there were probably third-degree burns, too. A burn that damages all layers of the skin as well as the tissue underneath. Second-degree or higher burns require immediate hospitalization. A third-degree burn was bad enough that instead of pain, you felt nothing at all. There's no way to save me. The pyrokinetic flames were burning me alive. Going super hard in the voice acting booth. I rolled around and tried to put out the fire as best I could, but it was simply the last impulsive struggle of my survival instincts. The fire was so hot that all the oxygen around me had vanished, and I was starting to suffocate. Yeah. Why was this happening? I thought she was dead, so why? There's gotta be some sort of, like, way to do that safely. The same way that the voice actor for, Hercule Satan and heckin' Mr. Torque shouts all his lines, but clearly has been doing it for a long time and hasn't damaged his voice, so there's gotta be a way to do it safely. I just don't know what it is. As everything started to fade away, I could see Uki walking up to me, crying and sniffling. Why can't you ever dream of good things, you really, really sad man? In her hand was the beautiful D-sword. The last thing I saw was the way it shone in the light of the fire. Well, that's, I guess we can get them all from right here, can't we? So the other one is just picking neutral, and then we'll just pick positive, and we're already on the route for that bad end, so we're getting all bad ends in a row here. In a row. Take extreme care of the voices. Oh, you'd have to, for sure. Yeah. Also, hey, Eric, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. So this time, if we do just go neutral, who could that be? Of course, this was the entrance to a store, and there were always going to be footsteps of people coming in and out. I ignored it and started to walk forward. The music sting, though. Suddenly, I lost my balance. I was overtaken with surprise. My body was flailing backwards? I could guess the cause. The person had come up to me from behind and grabbed me by the collar, then flung me backwards. I fell down with tremendous speed. My back slammed down in the middle of the stairs. I bounced off and fell more, and this time I hit my neck. Oh, did he just get anothered? I mean, no umbrella, but still. My body writhed at the bottom of the stairs. Strangely, I didn't feel any pain. My brain was emitting chemicals to dull the pain, but I could tell. Not only had I fractured my skull, but I'd heard the sound of my neck snapping. I could tell that there was no saving me now. The flame of my life had been burning so brightly a moment ago, and now it was about to be blown out so easily. But why? Why did this happen to me? And who was it who was staring at me from the top of the stairs? Doubt swirled in my mind as I began to cough up blood. Then the whole world turned black. Well, yeah. Looking is great. Cool. Welp. Rip. Now for one more bad end. And then for the actual other version of this ending. Which I don't know if it'll be better or worse, but it will be different. New, like, better Twitch TV. Alright. So I assume this should be another bad ending, but I wonder where it kicks in. All the other bad endings have been fast so far. Well, while we're fast forwarding, I can blow my notes real quick. Except I know the second I do, is when things are going to go different. Are we just not going to wake up? Yeah, that's right. If Yuki would make me happy, that was fine with me. I'm glad. A sweet, gentle darkness slowly enveloped me. If something bad happened, I could just look away. I could hide myself in my own little world and just not look at it. Rain time. It's a terrible day for rain. We have a sound effect command for that.
It's a terrible day for rain.
We straight up have that. Trying to deal with things would only make me miserable. What was wrong with that? There was nothing in my life worth going through all that for. Chris music is still there, even though we don't have song request nights anymore. I kept the command because, like, some people remember it that way. It's the only sound effect command we have that starts with a hashtag. It's the only one. I could just let things pass me by. If I could have fun and be happy, what could be better? Man, we're gonna be spamming cursed music when heckin' Crisis Core comes out. That was what started it. The Price of Freedom is the song that made me make that command. Everything would be fine. I could live here. Uki was saying she'd do everything she could for me. I couldn't turn down her kindness. This was fine. Everything was fine. It was just fine. Yes, everything's fine. How fine something actually is inversely proportional to how frequently somebody says something is fine. Everything's fine. In the end, the world was mine anyways. It was only what I saw, what I felt, what I knew, so I could just do what I wanted. It wasn't bothering anybody. I could just forget everything and let Uki take care of it all. And then I fell. I fell towards an infinite abyss, towards a happy world that only belonged to me, forever and ever. Good night, Takeru. Sweet dreams.
素敵な夢を
Bad End 4. Alright, now to get the actual... Excuse me. The actual second path of that ending. So that's positive, negative, positive? Yeah, positive, negative, positive, instead of positive, neutral, positive. Just that one. Anyway, if I read it, I might be able to tell what it said. I couldn't get the sticker on the back, obviously, so carefully sliced it off with a pair of scissors and took out the pile of folded papers from inside. What's this, copy paper? Why would someone stuff this into a cute envelope like that? Was she going for Gap Moe? Like, this is cute to me because it's bizarre and unexpected. What does it say? The words on the paper were printed from a computer, not handwritten like the outside. I was just a little disappointed, but that was fine. What was important was what they said. Let's see. Dear Takeru Miyashiro, I have watched you for a long time. That was normal. But it was too painful to just watch and not act, so I've gathered all my courage together to write this letter. What I want to tell you is extremely simple. I'm in love with you. I have been for a long time. I love how straight your hair is. I love how you're not too athletic and toned, but not too thin. I love how intelligent you look in your glasses. I love your cool, unemotional eyes. I love the high bridge of your nose. I love what a great leader you are in the newspaper club. I love it when you smile. It's moe to me. It's moe kyun. That's what she said, yep. I love you, Miyashiro. I took a photo of you in secret and made it my cell phone wallpaper, and I stare at it every day. I picked up a piece of your hair and put it in a stuffed animal, and I hold it when I go to sleep at night. You're right. This one... Yeah, you're right. Hold on. It's a good one. Alright, there we go. I'll add that one later. Got the stream marker. So this is just gonna go full yandere, right? Like... I'm always watching you. Always. Always. I'm watching you when you get up, rub your eyes, and put your glasses in the morning. I'm watching when you go outside and take that first big stretch. I'm watching when you're alone, grinning and reading your copies of Cool Cat Press. I'm always watching. I'm always watching you. Always, 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 always. I watch when you sometimes have your delusions. That's right. You're always having delusions. You could say you're a prisoner of your delusions. And from which, so it went to Gashead instead. You're trapped by a delusion of Shibuya. Something terrible will happen soon. Unless you can escape. Run. Run, or you'll... What the hell is this? It's terrifying! Fear won out over disappointment. Delusion of Shibuya, clearly. I mean, oh no, he's stuck in 428. We're gonna have to. We're literally going to have to play. What is it? Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Because we already have Ghostwire Tokyo lined up, and that would put that as the last one that takes major place in Shibuya for video games that we haven't played. So we're gonna have to. She was a lunatic, a prisoner of my delusions, run away. What the hell was she talking about? Was she was watching me? That was a joke, right? But she knew about Cool Cat Press. She can't really. The stripping too. Is there? I've never actually played. I thought they censored it. I've never played Tokyo Mirage Sessions, so. Oh, but that's not Shibuya. That's Akihabara, mind you. And I've done this before, but like, nope. Uh-oh. No, I hate. That's the one thing I hate about the PS5. It's the one singular thing I hate about the PS5. I hit X on the wrong thing, and now it just closed the game. They don't ask you, do you want to close that game? We'll get back to that scene real quick. I hate that. It's the singular thing I don't like about the PS5, because that's happened one other time where I lost data on something, because I just went to go check something else, and it closes it immediately. If it was a 2-button press, cool. I'd have no issue. But it's not a 2-button press. Mind you, we were literally right here. So I feel like a fool, but I don't think we really missed much. We're going to pretend that I picked the negative that I needed to pick there. We're going to pretend that. But yeah, that's Akihabara. Almost did it again. Alright. So we'll just get back to where we were. Right after the bubbles. But look at that, she knew about Cool Cat Press. She can't really. I stood up to look outside my window. Okay. Huh? What was this sensation I was feeling? What was I? That's right, I was reading that letter. Huh? The bed was covered with pink paper. It wasn't copy paper, and the writing on it was handwritten, not typed. I quickly looked through it, and it was a normal love letter. What was that, then? Had I taken Ito's suggestion that it might be a prank a little too seriously? Still, it seemed really realistic. I calmed myself down and read through the letter again. Press the cool cat. Letter said that she wanted to date me. Then I saw it. There was an 11-digit number at the bottom of the letter. I'll be waiting for your answer. That's what it said. A phone call, huh? That wasn't very good on the phone. I could feel my stomach clench with stress. It felt like the stress wasn't going to go away until I called. I'd rather just call now than go through all that misery. Yes. Let's do this. I spoke loudly to work up my courage and took out the phone. Then I carefully entered the number on the paper and tapped the call icon with shaking fingers. I waited a while, but there was no sign that she'd pick up. Just as I went to hang up, the phone connects. Alright, then it's positive for the last one. I think it has to be because all the others lead to bad. Yeah, positive at the cafe. Cool. That should lead us to the last ending on this route, and then we go to another route. The final not true route. Man, we approaching some endings, yo. Alright, positive. Otherwise bad things happen. Wonder how this changes it, though. All the other ones kind of made sense, I guess, but I wonder how this is actually going to change it. I'd say, what are we even going to do after this one? But we know the answer to that. Nirvana. And then Robotics Notes Dash. We're taking that quick break for Nirvana because I want to play it. So, you know. We're probably going to be close to that, though. Like, that one may have to wait till after some sunbreak, though. That's the problem. But we're not going to have to delay it too long. Yes, and then we start hitting the Endless Void. The plan currently is Valhalla and Night in the Woods, and then Phoenix Wright. That's the current plan, but that is subject to change. Oh, don't forget we're going to do My Darling's Embrace, though. But that should be a quicker, just... Oh, it splits here? Where's Uki? I sat up and asked. It splits here? Okay. Kurisu and Serika both looked away from me, lips pressed into a thin line. I'm absolutely going to. I bought it with the full intention of doing it, and that should be one of the games we play between this and another longer series. Just from that I could tell, Uki was gone. Like, I've got a few other visual novels we could do, but they're on the longer side, like House and Fate of Morgana. I really do want to play that at some point, but I can wait. Gonna get to meet the best character? I'm sure. In the corner of my eye, I could see the curtain separating this bed from the next. That was where Dad had been a moment ago. Uki was there, but she was gone now. Uki would never move again. She'd never help get dinner ready or help Dad at his work all day without a single complaint. I'd known it was going to happen. Uki had told me. But I thought that there had been some chance. Just like how there's a 50-50 chance the cat in the box is alive. At least until you open it. Thought that just maybe I had to accept it. I had to face it. Fail at making drinks? Oh, I'm sure. If it requires any real-world knowledge of drinks outside of something like a gin and tonic, in which case I can go, that is comprised of gin and tonic water, then I probably won't know, because I don't drink, so. Triple proc rate for glare? Ooh, okay. But I feel like glare isn't meant to, in its current state, be something that carries and things are dying instantly. Okay, nice. I feel like it's not meant to carry a run as it stands, but it's definitely meant to be supplemental. The concept of being able to ignite and freeze everything that gets close to you, is pretty nifty. Like, if you don't get the frickin' scythe, you might not always have something covering your back, so... I'm sure it's gonna fall off, but good luck. But... Oh, my feelings overflowed. Hot tears drooped down my face. There was nothing I could do now but cry. I thought I could save her. This time I thought I could save her. Inuki had seen the girl I'd witnessed at the facility so long ago, Senri Minamiyasawa, and this time I thought I could save her. Is that wrong? Even when she was down in that basement, Uki had never thought of herself as sad. At the dead end, maybe I was being arrogant to think I could save her. Maybe what I'd done for her was just for my own self-satisfaction. Was she even able to feel any happiness for herself? Even a little? Thank you, Takeru. Uki's words echoed in my mind. In my dreams, I was able to live the life I always wanted, even if it was just for a short time. Thank you, she'd said at the very last moment. It was a tiny little wish, and it had only come true in her dreams. It wasn't fair. I cried for a little while after that. For Uki, for a little girl who'd only wanted other people to be happy. Oh, we do get more. In other words, you're telling me that you killed Uki Yamazoe? Several days later, Shinjo and Kunosato came to ask me about what had happened, and I told them everything. And... yes, like I just told you, I was the one who took her life, so... You want me to arrest you? Yes. I could still feel it in my hands, the feeling when I'd run her body through. I was the one who killed her, and I had to atone for it. So please arrest me. The police probably wanted to find a killer as soon as possible. That's why I thought that Shinjo would gladly put the handcuffs on me, but... What do you think? Impossible. Yeah. Shinjo and Kunosato were looking at each other and saying something that didn't make sense. Impossible? What does that mean? It's impossible that I killed Uki. But I stabbed her with my own hands. I real booted the D-sword. I was saying so, and I was the one who killed her. How could it be impossible? There were no external wounds on Uki Yamazoe's body. Excuse me. What? But that meant... What do you mean? Just what I said. There were no external wounds on Yuki Yamazoe's body. Since she was connected with the case, I had an autopsy performed, but they found no signs that she died from external trauma. In other words, Yuki Yamazoe died a natural death. No crime was committed. A natural death? But that's impossible. I killed her. You're sure about that, right? Kunosato had been mostly silent, but now she interrupted me. You real-booted your D-sword and stabbed Yamazoe. You're sure about that? I'm telling you, it's true. I see. If there was one possibility, then... No, but that's... What is it? Please tell me. Kunosato's words cut off, and I stormed over to her. Yuki Yamazoe wanted to stop you from being a murderer, so she used the last of her power to reboot a delusion where she died a natural death. Or at least, that was my first thought, but... Now that she's dead, there's no way to know. Of course, if you're still in the world of her delusions, that changes things. A world of delusions? This was another delusion? Dream of the butterfly. The words came to me suddenly, and suddenly I looked up. Someone was looking at me. Whose eyes are those eyes? I looked outside the room, trying to see who it was. It's a long, dim hallway. Beyond it, there was... What's wrong, Mishiro? No, I thought I saw someone. Thought I saw a tiny shadow. The shadow of a tiny girl holding a sword much too big for her. A shadow? But when I looked again, it was gone. Alright. So, did we straight up just get Inceptioned? Is he still in the delusion or not? Well, we can see if the cast for the, Oh, never mind, Ramen. I was gonna let it play so you could see if the VA you were looking for was here, but... Sorry. Afterwards, after the true end, we can look it up. Another Sky End. Interesting to have one route have two different endings that both counted for it. Like, we didn't get any extra ending list stuff, right? Yeah. Oh, Dream Sky and Another Sky. We did. They did count as different ones. No extra trophy. And apparently you only need one to get the true ending, but... Alright, now we hit in non-specific fourth route. Select all positive delusions and additional delusions, but do not choose positive for the delusion where Hine and Takeru are preparing for the Culture Festival in Chapter 3, and do not choose positive for the delusion where Takeru and Ko are sleeping in the club room before the festival. So, yeah. What bad ends do we need for this? There doesn't seem to be a bad end for this one. Or at least no listed one. Alright. Well, let's get to it then. All positives until we get Chapter 3. Non-specific fourth. Alright. I feel like we've just gotten used to skipping a bunch of stuff by now. Yeah, there's clearly a little more to this one. Not that bad. Mostly positive, except this. This should be the final one, and I have to remind people, under True End, it only says one sentence. It will be immediately obvious how to attain this ending once all other routes are complete. That's all it says. It says nothing else. At all. So... here we go! Spilled some tea. Thankfully I'm not wearing a white shirt because the tea is quite, like, berry red. Each end has been meaty, yeah, so... we watch that poor sap die. This will be the 5th time. Barring any time I may have had to start over because of foolishness. Also, hey Potions, how's it going? Welcome to Viperland in the chat. How you doing tonight? Yeah, so we're going all positive again. Until we don't. Until we don't. But yeah, we've seen him eat the dust a few times. Well, eat the arm, bite the dust, you know. Positive. Yeah, we got some other flavors of sad, and now we're continuing on to whatever ending this is gonna be. Whatever ending this is gonna
Tasty.
be. Yeah, I'd agree. There's been much more painful stuff. The last one was just kind of sad. Especially because of while all the characters deserve better, boy howdy does she. She's done nothing wrong, and has only been kind of abused. Like, more than any of them didn't deserve negative there. Let's get that one. I gotta pay attention when we hit chapter 3, but other than that... Oh, so Ramen, if you went through the archive, then you saw the, long chain of positive delusions that led to a trophy, because that was a powerful chain of events. That was a very powerful chain of events. Yeah, it's 20 minutes till dawn. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to pick some of these right, but whatever. Super weird. Yeah, it really was super weird. Hers was dark, correct. It wasn't dark until it got super dark. Oh. But yeah, Grim, I tried the run you were talking about with just the Shadow Clone, and jeez. Start with a grenade launcher, and that thing puts out stupid damage. Fire off 2 shots, and then just don't shoot anymore. Damn, you can get some damage off of that. And that lens, I'm shocked the lens works. I would never have thought of that. Never would have thought of that. I'm still at 10 minutes and it hasn't fallen off. Okay. That ain't bad. Damage every like half second. Not bad. Plus it applies burn, freeze, any other on-hit stuff. That adds up, I imagine. It just needs to make a DLC for money? Yeah. Yeah. The new area characters and weapons soon. Jeez. I don't know how he keeps coming up with ideas for stuff. I would have run out of ideas by now. Ah, yes, 4chan. Everyone's favorite website. Mm-hmm. Also true. Not just coming up with ideas, but making it all work. And having at least some semblance of balance. And then implementing it. I can't believe the Garo Froggy was the crux of, like, finding out she was the cause. Because it had to be the Garo Froggy. It had to be a plot-relevant squeaky keychain. Because of course it did. We're not in chapter 3 yet, right? No, absolutely not. I was like, did I miss the thing? Extremely plot relevant toys. They do, don't they? Yeah, they really do. this one again. I always am like, what was the one? Picture of the body. Don't look at me. I should just know these by now. Group dive. Making noise. Pregnant man. I don't know if people are going to want me to do the wrap-up of trophies on camera, because some of them are just going to be mildly time-consuming. Like, there's one for going through a regular route playthrough, but never missing a single one of these map prompts. We missed a single one in our original playthrough, so we didn't get the trophy. And it's like, we could do that, that just takes some time, though. There's also a trophy for getting 20 wrong in a row, which I think is very entertaining. Sticker placement scene. Don't look at me. That one. Crucified. That's true. We may as well. Happy times. Non-stop happy times. Fair, yeah. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. The true end will clearly give us nothing to talk about. Totally nothing to talk about. Oh, to be fair, yeah, Grim, that's also the sign of a good Vampire Survivor run. When you can straight up just take hands off keyboard. That's it, you're fine. T-shirt mascot, yeah, that's true. And went on a crazy adventure talking about gaps and saving the world. Oh, man. Yeah, no, that was good. That was good. Mean Clean. Mean Clean is still the only 428 character in the bot, by the way. Yep, Gaps. And Gaps is still our only 2-part command. No, the Mean Clean route was the second best thing. The actual best thing was the credits with behind-the-scene footage. Hard stop. Best part of it. Best part of the game. After all that work there, yeah. In the anime. Oh, true, you're right. You're right. But she's under the anime, not under 428. But you're right, there's a handful of characters that are there because Canada. Totally forgot. That's totally true. Alright. Oh yeah, everything after chapter 2 is always blocked. Just saving, because I know I'm bound to screw something up. We don't have to do anything besides positive till chapter 3, but you know. We've seen how easy it is for me to accidentally go through them. They had so much fun, and I'm so... That game is fantastic. One day I'll actually convince other people to play it. It's a hard sell. A lot of people don't like visual novels, and the people who like visual novels don't tend to want to play one that has like live action stuff, because they're so used to this, rightfully so. This is how 90% of them are, more than 90%. How the vast majority of them are. Like, I get it, but man, if people just gave it a try. Take her outside, that one. Long distance shot. Sumo sticker looking down at Don't Look at Me case was that one. Back in the day. Oh yeah, of course. F&B games, yeah. Which is not something most people think highly of. It's that one, right? Yeah. Cool. They were an interesting idea, but I feel like people... They either haven't aged well or have aged specifically very comedically. Something that may have been intended to be scary at the time is now like, eh. Not that that's bad either. Yep, we'll hit the positive here. And now we've seen most of the negatives. That's the other bit of the cleanup we'll need to do, is there's like 1 or 2 delusions we wouldn't have found through any of the normal routes. It's specifically Night Trapped, yeah. It tends to be the one people think about. I don't really know any other FMV games. Whenever I think FMV games, I think Night Trap. 100%. I know there were more, but that's just the one everyone thinks about. I feel like unless you actually played some back in the day, that's probably the only one you know about. Just powering through Chapter 2. We're getting to Chapter 3 eventually. Yep, this is still Chapter 2, all positives. And since we've seen basically all positives at this rate, just going through. Dragon Slayer. Oh, you're right. Well, by that account, aren't the CDI Zelda games FMV then? Not that that would give anyone a positive outlook of FMV. Dragon Slayer would. Dragon Slayer is beautiful. Hard as nails, designed to milk you of quarters, but objectively beautiful. The animation of that game is stunning. No, maybe it wouldn't be, because you had some control over that Zelda. But it definitely had that, like, janky feel to it, so I don't know. Yeah, Dragon Slayer was just pushing directions, so... Oh, I forgot about that, yeah. I remember that coming out. That was about it. I remember that coming out. So I don't know if it's good or bad. Third Zelda CDI game. It's got FMV. Ugh. All I tend to know of those games is the animation. The high quality animation. Detective games, like Psychic Detectives. I haven't tried that one. Those ones are good? Alright, cool. I feel like 428 Shibuya Scramble tops the list, though, by miles. They're recent? Okay. Just still going through stuff. Wish I could make like other saves for this, but since it's like you have to do all this or all that, you really do kind of gotta restart it, I guess. I probably could have mathed it out a bit better, but it's fine. Alright, School Festival. Hine and Takeru are planning for the cultural fest. Do not choose positive. Let's make a save here, so I can't screw anything up. Oh man, I can't wait for the trophy to tell us whose route we're on again. Okay. So this is... We're good here. Should be the next one, right? Oh yeah, this is the Star Wars one. The best one. Gotta pick positive here too, yep. The Excalibur delusion. Ah, yes, the slap. Good times. Yeah, that happened. This should be the one we don't pick positive on, right? Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we could do neutral too, but whatever. Rebel Assault 2? Is that FMV? Really? Okay. Oh, no, I guess I can kind of see it. I never played it. Do not choose positive for delusion where Takaru and Ko are sleeping in the clubroom. That's the other one. So if we do both of those this way, it should be fine. And then we just let it go until it splits, which could be awkwardly long, like the other route. The Uki one took its time. But who knows? Maybe it'll split right at the pyrokinetic, maybe it'll split forever after again. Doesn't matter, we got the fast forward button. Mission Critical? Haven't played that one either. I don't think I've played any of these. Just 428. The only one that matters. Alright, so this delusion can't be positive. Oh yeah, that delusion. Yeah. And now anything else should still be positive. Wonder when it'll prompt us to have unlocked an ending. I hope it didn't muck it up. I follow the directions. That was definitely Hine and Takaru. And Takaru and Ko sleeping. I won't question it, we're just gonna let it go. Yeah, it's gotta be. Unless hers ends up being like the true end or something. Yeah, it's gotta be. Like, I'm torn because I don't really want an ending devoted to her, but boy am I curious about the circumstances that led her to this. Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm really curious about the circumstances that made her hate Gigalomaniac so much, be involved with the Committee of 300, not involved, but against, and end up back in Japan from her American Brain Studies Institute at a high school age. Like, there's a lot of story there that we don't know. That's what her power is. I like little scenes like that, something that they clearly only use the one time, and they're like, psh, whatever, we don't have to show this again. But, oh my. Yes, it's the Endwalker scene. Give up, yep, it's definitely hers then. The title alone is just like, yup, there it is. Alright, well, we know whose ending it's going to be, it's just a matter of when we hit it. We should probably just save we are definitely on this path. We didn't muck it up. We'll hit it when we hit it. I mean, it's a more sister route, but... Yeah, there's definitely unanswered stuff with her. We don't know what her power is. We don't know why Arimura said she was lying when she stated she saw Minamiyasawa die. We know Minamiyasawa is dead, but we also know she lied about seeing her die. And that was all we know about it. We know nothing else past that. So there's at least a few questions. She definitely knows more than she lets on compared to other characters. She, from the start, has been like, Taku, stop this. And originally I just thought it was because of the basement stuff, but like, she knows more than she lets on. Yeah, she took her secrets to the grave, so maybe she won't this time? We'll find out shortly, I assume. if somehow the true end proves that Kunosato was behind all of this, and we somehow have to credit Potions with once again calling a Wesker, I'll be upset. I'll be upset. That would also mean that Potion's Wesker vision would be too strong. I don't know if it matters what I pick here, but I'm going to continue on the positive route just because it says to pick all positive. But I don't think it matters because we already got the thing. Every one of Pot's predictions is a spoiler. Except for the wrong ones, not those. Now, if it turns out the cafe waitress was behind everything. Okay. Yeah. This is just to throw us off. Ah, yes, you're right. Those aren't predictions, those are distractions. So every prediction is correct, every distraction is distracting. Kunosato route when? Not this route, apparently. I'm a little curious about her, but I also kind of hope they don't give her a route. But I'll admit curiosity. We only know little bits of her past, and I kind of am curious what made her who she is. But also, nah, I'm okay. Ito finds his true self, obviously. She's just one of the bad ends where she just kills you. That's her route. That's what she clearly wants to do most of the time anyway. All about the 50 Ks. Okay. Yeah, no. That would be a funny one. I don't even know if that's her route. I think that's Ito's route. Excuse me. Well, yeah, but they probably did. They were too busy being friends with each other and not talking to her. Alright, time for some fire. This is where some routes split. I could see how this route could split here, but it might wait for a little longer. Pissed off edgy Kazoo. Yeah, she wasn't important enough to be added to the system. Clearly. She was there, but she clearly wasn't on the same level. Also, this takes place after that, but unless she just arrived there, whatever. When's her route gonna begin? Guess it's gotta be after we get all the teases of all her stuff. I'm thinking it might split right before she goes up to fight Onoe originally. Like, that's my guess as to where it might split. If it's not gonna be at the fire point. Jude, internet's back up, heck yeah! Alright, so this is the third time today we've gotten this notification, so maybe the bot is a massive leap.
Ramen is finally back up. King K Spy.
Ramen said earlier that they think they guessed that JoJo music had played because they resubscribed off camera where only I could hear it. And I was like, they're like, oh, JoJo's most of the notifications. I was like, not really. So I actually looked it up and did the math. It's 24% of the notifications for subscriptions are JoJo. But I feel like we do hear a lot of JoJo. But also, hey dude, I'm glad your internet's back up. Thank you for the resubscription. 51 heckin' months. Tier 2 no less. Jeez. But yay, internet. Support much appreciated. Hope you're having a good day now that the internet is back. Unplanned internet outages suck. I can always blame mine on Optimum, but you don't have Optimum. You have potentially slightly more competent ISP providers up there. But yeah, at least it's back. Like, I hope it stays up. I hope it was just they had to fix something and it's better now. Predict future. I really we have to do this so many times. I should just know the order of them and everything by now. Wait, what? Oh yeah. Whoops. Yeah, leaky noise victim. Yeah, I got it. Whoops. The eating crayons. Alright. Maple syrup coated Optimum. Kogito line? Kogiko? Okay, don't know that one. A little brighter than Optimum. Good. It's hard to be less brighter. Evolving Dead. Don't look at me, kids. Sneaking near streamer that it will become famous. Popular vocalist. Yeah, we're going down the path to our last not true ending. This is the last ending we have before the true ending. Power was pyrokinetic. Ah yes, Mountain View. I didn't bring the Mountain View tonight, we just got water and tea. This one. Well, we have to keep going positive to... It said pick all positives, but we read through it last time, so it's fine. Yeah, the not true pain before the true pain, I'm sure. I don't know what you're talking about. There's gonna be no pain involved in any of this. Poor Taku, digging himself deeper and deeper. I'm glad that even in universe, they eventually are like, it wasn't Taku. It was clearly Ito. And he runs away at the first sign, too. And hunting, yes. Not hunting, this is... We're on the path towards the last ending before the true ending. We just need to get to wherever it branches. Like, we got the trophy for, like, you're on the right path. We just need to wait for wherever it hits new content. I don't know where that is. We'll find out. And then we'll be on new content. Until the true end. I wonder if the path to the true end is just all neutral. I wonder if the path to the true end is simply no delusions. Or if like another flag opens where you have to do something different. Yeah, it's just no. No. I refuse. Is this about where it might happen? Just put the true end on the title screen. Oh, that could do it too, yeah. I've never encountered one that does that, but I could believe, considering how the spoiler-free guide has been fairly spoiler-free so far, as the name says, it might be something like that, where it's just like you have to just click, like, new game, final ending, or something. For them to just have the one line of, like, it will be immediately obvious, with no... Because even the one for... I forget which game, but one of the spoiler-free guides from an earlier game on the same website had like a, it should be immediately obvious, but if it's not, you can unscramble this code to find out how to actually do it, but it was obvious. So, I don't know, the fact that that's not here means it should be impossible to miss obvious. So maybe that is it. That would be impossible to miss. Damn, it's going deep in it this time, too. The first two alternate ends were quite a bit earlier, and Uki's was way further in, and now we're going at least almost that far. Like, I don't know. title screen. The Opie end. Can't believe that's an ending. World peace through love of Opie. Yep. Where it's illegal to say things like good, nice, cool, and only say Opie. The title screen. Clearly.
Some serious honkers.
I was about to say, yeah, we have an Opie button. It's right there. Like, I feel like that gets used plenty, but I feel like the freezing command is going to be for I. Like, we added it for I, the Somnium Files, we're gonna need it for part 2. Guaranteed. Knock, 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 knock. No, I, but everyone else will not be correct, yeah. Attacked this before. She was a pyrokinetic. The showed me the delusion of being alone. What was the one for this one? Argue about something they were arguing about. Didn't believe Sunny was the color. She saw immediately saw someone die in the earthquake. Tried to attack. Sad times here. I can't wait to get to like any of those like goofy fight sequences as Mizuki though. I can't wait for her to just like one punch everyone. Yuki deserves, everyone deserves better, except the bad guys, obviously. Though I did love how Aiba got Date to actually do the right thing. Usually like, look, there's a porno mag. Like, and it worked every time. He'd like duck the bullet. It went full Mr. Magoo, but with Aiba in control of it all. It's gonna be so good. The only downside of that game is that there is a overwhelmingly high likelihood that Ota is still there. That's true, but not the dad. Not the dad. Serika was literally doing what she was created to do. It's not really her fault. It is kinda Taku's fault, but also he didn't know what he was doing. I love how Misshapen Chair dunks on Ota too. So good. He doesn't deserve a redemption arc. They tried to give him a redemption arc in the game, but it was like, no, that is so too little too late. So. Alright, so we're past where we split for Uki. It's gotta split when she, right before she goes up to fight. Oh, no way, right? It has to. It can't split after that, she'll be dead. It can't split after that, so it has to be before then. Unless she doesn't actually die there? Just gonna save again, just in case I muck something up, like we know we're still on the route. And if I screw something up, we're closer. Yeah, again, it's gotta be before that. Yeah, absolutely screw Ota, 100%. I haven't seen this one in a while, actually. Something we had talked about because we didn't think it was that important. No, Urban Legend. I don't remember what this one was supposed to be. Uniforms and Love Hotel? Okay, that's the one. We only had to do this one on the original ending. It's been a while. Buy us off, make it look good. I'll make good decisions. More sumo stickers. Yeah, I'm not saying it's impossible to redeem him. I am saying it's at the very least difficult and unlikely. Yes, Oto's face was the reason we downloaded the, oh, it was the sticker from Standalone Complex. It was the Laughing Man sticker, yeah. Maniacs. Cletus the Pyrokinetic. Hatsune's ID. Yeah. If that happens, you know, and then he actually does change, he doesn't just go, wow, I'm awful, may as well keep being awful. If he does both of those things, then you're right, I still won't like him as a character, but I'll accept it. I'm gonna say it's unlikely. That's a problem for them. Might not have noticed connection between them stickers in the case, might have noticed my power's telekinesis. I forgot what. Be the same. Stickers in the case. To the game by having Hekiho. No, that's not it. Think again, fine.
真犯人は
Want to
ど
make
うして南沢千里が僕を襲ってきてるように見せたかった
Oh, yeah, yeah.
一体何を狙って
Revenge for going on slow, too pathetic to be emotive. Alright. I remember some of these, don't worry. There's no coming back from... Yeah, true. What was this one again? Didn't I suspect? Okay. Oh. Kazuki... Oh. Yep, people... Why does it let me skip this? Hold on. Watui might have been the advisor newspaper club, but he didn't really get involved with us that much. It's not letting me skip it, which is weird. He didn't seem very interested in the students' home lives, and he never met the people at Alba Dorm. There's no way he'd even have an old photo of me. I can roll him out. It wasn't new, it just didn't let me skip it. Show you to that picture were probably... Why is it not letting me roll him out? Well, it just met RMR recently. Of course, you didn't really know the people at Albert Dorm that well yet. What if I need photos of us? Could roll her out. Oh, we're supposed to pick the people who could. Never mind. Gotcha. Gotcha, because I screwed it up. When you're skipping stuff, it's easy to just be like, psh, what was it saying again? Yeah, this is going deep into it before it splits. Like, damn deep. We at like the ending. Well, the ending path. Well, yeah, like, it can't split much further from this because she'll be dead. Alright. Oh, absolutely, you know it would have. But, mind you, we learned from that. Just let it go. If it says I unlocked something, or even if it didn't, just, if I'm sure I did it right now, we split in here. Really? I stared in shock at what I saw beneath the moonlight. I couldn't comprehend what I was seeing. Here? We're splitting here! Okay. Oh, does she win? She wins this route. Oh, Kurisu was panting heavily, her face twisted in pain and holding a tall D-sword in her hands. There was red liquid splattered all around the rooftop. It's probably her blood. Oh, no, they're still both up, I guess. Serika was attacking her with a D-sword of her own. I'd never seen Serika look like that before. Kurisu was just barely keeping up. I had no idea why she had a D-sword, but the design of the sword itself was a combination of blade and shield, and it was just barely keeping her alive. I'd say it looks more like claws, but we haven't seen the full thing, I don't think. Why did you come here? Run! Hurry! What the hell are you doing? Why do you have a D-sword? Oh, I guess I never told you the truth. Kurisu looked at her D-sword, then at my face, and then down at her feet. So you didn't tell Miyashiro yet, huh? You fake. Maybe I'll tell him myself then. Kurisu struck without warning. She was a different person than I'd ever seen before. Smug face. Pathetic. Well, whether she'll live or not, I'm just assuming because it's her ending, but... Also, that building in the background looks like a stapler. Right? I don't know why I just realized this, but the greenish building in the background is just a stapler. The two twisted blades collided with the sound of metal screeching against metal. Both refused to back down. I always did think you were annoying, but even your D-sword is obnoxious. Yeah. What about you? Your D-sword looks like it's got problems of its own, huh? I know I can't beat you. My power is different, and your mind reading is telling you everything I think. I mean, it does, though. But did you notice? Your D-sword is feeding me back your own thoughts. What? That's right, I can tell what you're thinking. Serika didn't seem to have realized this because she pulled away her D-sword in shock. As she did, she jumped backwards. But that's impossible! Until now, she'd been completely expressionless, like a crazy murderer, but for the first time I saw doubt in her eyes. My D-sword reads my own thoughts and shares them? So now I know all about you too. Now we're even. So, what will you do? You want to kill me, right? So come do it. Kill me right in front of Takeru. That's what he wants, right? If it is, I'll gladly let you kill me. What did she say? It was what I wanted. I wanted her to kill Kurisu? What the hell did that mean? You can read Takeru's mind, can't you? If he really wants you to kill me, then do it. What's wrong? You're not going to do it? Kurisu held her D-sword in one hand and spread the other out to the side, as if to demonstrate how vulnerable she was. But Serika didn't attack her. Serika, what you're thinking doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense? Why not? You think that you exist to give Takeru something he wants to do and help him achieve it. What? Serika gives me something I want to do? That's why she exists? What the hell was going on here? Didn't make sense. The two of them kept glaring at each other, ignoring me.
でも
But do you think this is what Takaru wants? Do you think he wanted Ito, his best friend, to kill Yui, his little sister?
そんなこと
Do you really think that's what Takaru wants?
それは
I had to make the game more exciting.
なら
Then kill me too. That'll make him happier, right?
そうすればタクルがもっとよこの
Ew. Kurisu had lowered her weapon, completely exposing herself. Serika raised her own. Stop. Oh, no way.
宮代タクル
That's not what I want. What? I don't want you to do that, and I don't want you to do that, and I don't want you to do it either. I finally knew now. Finally knew what was important to me. What I really wanted was... Serika swung her D-sword up high as if driven by some unseen force. Well, if I remember correctly, she didn't want to kill... No, she just... I think it had... I forget the exact course of what things led to. I think she ended up doing this because she was found out? Not because she actively wanted to?
ダメタクル
No, Takaru! I tried to leap between them, but Kurisu's voice interrupted me.
してはダメ
It was necessity, yeah.
今は
Stay back, let me talk to
セリカ
Serika
話を
right
さ
now.
せて
But,
お願いよ
please, Takaru. Her voice was calm, but there was no room for disagreement. I hesitated a moment and then stopped. But I was ready to jump in at any moment if I needed to. Kurisu turned towards Serika once more and continued. Serika was still holding her D-sword above her head, but she was pale and unmoving.
セリカ
Serika, you can read other people's hearts, but you don't understand your own at all, do you?
何
What?
確かに最初は
At first you started the game for Takuru's sake, but at some point your goal
タクル
changed.
のためのゲームでは
It
な
stopped
く
being a game for Takaru and
あ
started
な
being
た
a
自
game
身
for
の
you.
私の
A game for me?
わからない
Can't you tell? The more time you spent with Takaru, the more you started to think that you were the only one who could support him.
タクルが心を許
You
す
needed to
存
be
在は
the
自分
only
だけ
person that he could trust, didn't you?
違う
No,
私はあなたは羨まし
You
く
were
なった
jealous and angry at everything he trusted. His family, his best friend. You saw them as threats.
そして
And then you started hating me,
家族や友達
turning
の
him
こと
into
を
somebody
思う
who cared
心を
about his
育て
friends
て
and
しまった
family. Shut up!
私にはわかるわ
I know all about your lies and your feelings because you're...
黙れよ
Shut up!
セリカ
Serika, you might
確かにあなたは
you
人
might
形だ
have
っ
been
た
a
のかも
puppet
しれ
once,
ない
but now you're... Yeah.
セリカ
What the hell do you know? Lies? What lies? What have I ever said that's a lie? Something was wrong with the way she was talking. There was a mix between the Serika I knew and the one I didn't. What gives you the right to talk about anyone else anyway? Which of us is the liar? You're the liar! Kurisu froze for a moment when Serika called her a liar. Serika must have thought she finally had the upper hand again because she smiled. Talia Kotag speaking, clearly.
さっきもそうだったけど
You went pale, just like you did before, huh?
タクに
You really don't want Taku to know, do you, liar? Liar? Come to think of it, Serika had said before that there was something Kurisu wasn't telling me. Probably many things, but they seemed to be leading up to one specific thing. No, Kurisu had told me that herself, too.
いつか
Someday I want to tell you all the things that I can't say. It may make you hate me again, but I don't care.
その時は
When that happens, will you
ち
let
ゃ
me
んと
say
最後ま
everything
で
I
聞
need
いて
to?
くれる
What's going on? What were Serika and Kurisu saying? We'll talk like this.
私
Probably.
全部知って
We back to smug.
あんたが出
Huh,
来の
I know
悪い
all
の
about it.
嘘
You're a
つき
failure, a liar, and...
やめて
Oh,
フェイクだってこと
a fake! She was the fake hedgehog all along. All along. Kurisu's hand flew forward. Her blade sliced out towards Serika in a circle, ripping through the air as it moved. Must have been an unconscious movement, so fast that there wasn't even time to read her mind. Serika hadn't expected her to stop talking and attack, so her response was a little slow. But she still managed to block it at the last minute. Exactly, Krim. Okay, you're all ready to kill me, huh? I like that note. Well, back to just clashing blades again. The D-swords collided again. Their silver silhouettes scorched the atmosphere around them. The blades bit into one another in a rush of feints and parries. A scent like ozone stung in my nostrils. Chemical formula O3. This molecule is created in the ozone layer and consists of 3 oxygen atoms. And it's a strong, unique scent. The second strongest oxidizer after fluorine. It's used as a deodorizer, decolorant, and disinfectant. In the stratosphere, its effect is weakened by ultraviolet radiation, but nearer the Earth's surface it can cause atmospheric pollution. I lost my chance to stop the two of them, and all I could do was watch them fight. Why? What was going on here? Come on, what's wrong? Done already? Let's play some more. Kurisu had been the one to start this fight. She seemed unable to hide her shock at having done so. Sarika, meanwhile, was showing no signs of fear or resistance at all. Her strikes were calm and precise. Yet, yeah, and in this battle, that was what made the fatal difference. Alright, you always were terrible at sports, weren't you? Sarika laughed and pulled her blade away. It was an obvious trap. No, Kurisu! Well, not obvious enough, I guess. Kurisu attacked, falling for the obvious trap. Well, Sarika smiled and moved, just a little, then waited for the sword to go by. Kurisu had stepped too far forward and failed to strike her target. She lost her balance. Her body was wide open to the threat in front of her. We've known each other for a long time, but it's over now. Bye-bye, known. A cold, cruel voice and a single strike from above. A waterfall of light appeared in midair, coming right down on top of Kurisu's skull. It was a simple attack, but clearly a fatal one. My body finally slipped away from my mind and moved. Annie called her by her first name. But my hand was too far away. I wasn't going to make it in time. But then my hand grabbed onto something. What? It's a D-sword gleaming dull gray in the moonlight. Get a CG for this too? I grabbed the weapon from the rift between dimensions and swung it up as hard as I could to block the strike above Kurisu's head. Oh, that's the quick save button. Huh. I don't remember the button to... Oh, it's circle. There you go. To see the art. Put more strength into it and knocked Sarika's sword away. Yeah, you're not wrong, Jude. You're not wrong. Yeah, he's defending. It was a D-sword. I could feel it in my hands. A cursed blade, something I had created that existed only for me. Why, Taku? Sarika stopped attacking and looked like she was about to cry. Her voice was weak, but it was the voice of the girl I'd known since I was little. Why are you picking Known, not me, when I've been with you for so long? Why? Tell me, Taku, is this the world you wanted? I mean, ideally both of you would survive. Sarika was mumbling to herself like a patient with a severe heat stroke. Oh no, listen to me. No, I don't want to. No, I don't want to hear it. Sarika turned around and vanished into the darkness before either of us could say another word. Well, I didn't know what was going on anymore. Yui was dead, Ito had killed her. And Sarika and Kurisu had just been trying to kill each other with swords. Why Sarika? And why did Kurisu have a D-sword? Was she a psychic too? No, she's borrowing it. Kurisu suddenly looked at me in terror. What happened? What's going on here? Will you tell me, please?
お願いだ。
Kurusu slowly closed her eyes and then nodded. Are we actually going to get answers? Is she actually going to heads or tails? Alright, well. When I'd finished hearing the truth from her, I looked out at the sky in silent shock. Game? It's mean. That's mean. I felt helpless, like the ground beneath me had crumbled and I was falling into hell. The strength left my body and I fell to my knees in the hard concrete. Kurusu had told me everything. She gave me just the objective facts without adding any of her own opinions in. She told me the truth behind the return of the new generation madness. It was unbelievable. Serika Onoe was behind it all. And all of it was being done for my sake. To be fair, she was behind her and someone else, but it was fine. Just like the ridiculous theory I'd come up with, it was a game, and I was the player.
信じられない。
I can't believe it. Yeah, she told him
タクル。
the greater story stuff that's going on, but not her stuff.
だってそうだろ。
I mean, that can't be true, right?
なんで尾上がそんな
Why
こ
would
としなきゃ
Onoe
な
do
らないん
that?
だ。
How would she be capable of
あい
it?
つは僕とずっと
She
一
was
緒だった
always
んだ。
with me. She was there whenever I wanted her to be.
それなのに。
But
さっきも言ったわ。
I told you, that's
それ
exactly
だから
why
こそよ。
Kurusu spoke. Her face was filled with sorrow.
セリカは
She was
いつも
always
あな
with
た
you.
と一緒
That's
だった。
why she did it for you.
僕の
For me?
た
Serika had committed all those murders for me? She'd killed all those people, and for me. She'd killed Yui for me. For me. For...
信じられない気
I
持ち。
understand that it's hard to believe, and I know you don't want to believe it.
信
Neither
じた
did I.
でも
But it's true.
真実だった
Of course, I knew that Kurusu wouldn't tell me this as a joke, and I'd seen how Serika had acted a moment ago. Serika had intended to kill Kurusu, but if all that was true,
それじゃあ
then that means it's my fault, doesn't
僕の
it?
せいって
Yui's death, all the
こと
deaths,
じゃないか。
the worst superpowers ever. Yeah, well, we don't know what hers is. We still don't. Even the fact that Serika had killed them,
全部
it's all,
何もか
it's
も
all my fault then, right?
タクル。
But yeah, I don't think anybody who has the powers has overtly stated that they enjoy them. We obviously know Kazuki doesn't like her powers. We know that Arimura has had nothing but stressful times being able to connect with anyone at all because of her powers. Obviously his is... I mean, all we knew of his was just telekinesis, but clearly... he can create stuff too, yeah. You're correct. Nobody seems to have benefited from being a Gigalomaniac. Arguably Serika? It made her job a bit easier to do what she decided she wanted to do? Arguably? Yeah, in head you had to get broken, but that was for full Gigalomaniac. This was just... were you pretty darn stressed at the time when that earthquake happened? Probably gonna have something to do with that. Oh yeah, for sure, potions, yeah. I felt something soft surround me as I knelt on the ground.
ダメ、タクル。
No, Takuru.
クレス。
そんな風に考
Don't
え
think
ち
of
ゃ
it
ダ
like
メ
that. Don't blame yourself.
自分を責
There
め
was
て
a
はダ
gentle
メ。
smell, like old memories. Kurusu smell.
だって、
How could you have known that this would happen because of you? But,
あなたは
excuse me,
あの地震の時に
you
ちょ
just
っと
thought
考
something
えて
during
し
the
まっただ
earthquake.
け。
She read your mind and did all that without ever asking you. That's all there is to it.
だから、
So it's not
あ
your
なた、
fault.
ユイだって。
I know that Yui
ユイだ
Yui
って
doesn't blame you either. Her words were soft as a whisper, but they were strong.
僕は
Yeah,
クレスにも謝らなきゃ
it's not just lying, she's faking. I don't know. I have to apologize to you too.
謝る
Apologize?
全部クレスの言う通りだった。
Yeah,
最初に事
that
件を
would explain that
言われ
lie.
た時も
Yeah.
その通りにしておけばよ
If
かっ
she was Mina Miyazawa, just living her life as Nono, that would do it, but like, I don't know. You're right. When you told me not to get involved in the case, I should have listened.
た。犯人だって。
The killer wasn't Senri Mina Miyazawa, but I said all those things about your friend. I hurt you. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
ありがとう。
Thanks. Kurusu held me close until I was able to think clearly again. Yeah.
大丈夫？
You okay now?
あ
Yeah. To be honest, I wasn't anything close to okay, but I couldn't sit up here on the roof forever. I stood up and looked around. Man, how have I never noticed that building looks like a stapler? It's a really weird time to be thinking that. I just had my entire worldview shaken, but maybe that should finally unlock the ability to see that it's a stapler and not a building. It's funny how things like that work. The whole place was quiet, as if the battle had never happened. My D-sword had disappeared, too.
クルス
Kursu, can I ask you one more thing? No, she left. I mean, she could be just off camera, but they specified she disappeared into the shadows. So, while I guess nothing's stopping her from being just out of sight and listening, the implication is she bolted. She ran. But we don't know for sure. She could have bolted out of sight and be hiding. That could happen. Huh?
どうして
How come you
今ま
never
で
told
教えてく
me?
れなかっ
Yeah. She must have known what I was going to say before I asked, her face twisted in sorrow. But I had to
た
ask
自分が
that you were a gigglomaniac.
それは、
Well,
その、
She looked down a little, and when she looked up again, there was something like resolve in her eyes.
だって、
It's not the kind of thing that you want to tell people. It would upset everyone, and you too. It would upset everyone? What was her power?
嫌がったりしない
It
よ
won't upset me. I'm a gigglomaniac too. Will you tell me what your power is?
言わなきゃダ
Do
メ
I
か
really
な。
have to? I mean, technically no, but it would be really nice if you stopped hiding stuff from us eventually.
まだ何が起こるかわからないんだ
We still don't know what's going to happen. I want to know as much as I can. She's super against this. Kurisu hesitated for a moment, but finally spoke.
私のは、
My power
その
is the same
有
as
村さん
Arimura's.
と同じなの。
Really?
有村と同じ
Same as Arimura's?
ええ、
Yeah, I can tell when someone's telling the truth or lying. That's why I first thought something was wrong with Serica.
そうだった
I see. Yes, I believe her words. She's looking us straight in the eye and telling the truth. Yeah,
でも、
yeah,
有村さん
but
も言ってなかった
remember what Arimura said?
そんなにい
It's
いも
not
のじゃ
that
ない
great.
どうだったかな
I don't remember.
人の言葉の裏表
I
なん
never
て
really want to know when someone is lying to you, and if people knew I had this power, they'd
それ
avoid
に
me.
こんな能力を持ってるって知られたら
Lying bastard.
みんな
I remember that Arimura had been reluctant to show off her power, too. It's probably better not to know what people were really thinking when they spoke, and she probably wouldn't want people avoiding her.
私の場合
My power is not as precise as Arimura's, though.
正解率
It's about 60% accurate, I
だった
guess.
ところかな
Ah, yes, that's definitely the thing we know about all the psychic powers so far. They're horribly inaccurate, and they just usually don't work. Yeah, that finally explained something. Why Serica had called Kurisu a fake. She must have been saying that she just had a bootleg copy of Arimura's power. Yeah, that's definitely an illegally made and often inferior copy of an existing product. Partial power protag. Yeah, apparently. Hey, I mean, if she's telling the truth, and the one thing we know about Nono is she clearly has always told the truth. Taku is dense, but to be fair, all anime protags are. It's just a law, they have to be. It's like saying all horror movie people are clumsy and trip over their feet. It's like, you have to. Yeah, no, there's no way this isn't a lie. Hey, Takaru.
私たちこれから
Yes, her power is to
どうすればいいのかしら
never tell lies. What do we do now? He just looks up at her and goes, I don't know, how about you tell me what your actual power is? Stands up, T-poses, out the door. What can we do now that we knew the truth? Now that we'd lost Yui, Ito, and even Serica? To be honest, my head was a mess, and I couldn't think straight. But there was one thing I could say. That was,
とにかく
I need to do something
yeah,
about
nantoka shinaki.
Onoe. Believes Supiyosa at a second thought. See, that I'd believe. I'd believe that one. It's the exact opposite of Arimura's power. She can tell any lie she wants, and people just be like, yeah, that sounds legit. I couldn't let her kill anyone else. I mean, it clearly wouldn't be akin to, like, mind control or anything, because she's clearly told Takaru, stop going after this case, and he clearly hasn't. But he at least would believe that she wants him to do that. So, I don't know. It would still be a lame power, but it would be funny. No, it can't be that. It can't be that, because Arimura was like, no, she lied about this. As funny as that would be, it doesn't actually work. It'd be really funny if they did, though. If everything that had happened so far was the result of my wish, then we had to end it here. If Serica's plan was going to continue, the next murder would happen on November 4th, today. And her target was probably Nono Kurisu, the girl who knew too much. I had to protect Kurisu no matter what. I couldn't let Serica commit any more crimes either. A faint vibration pulled me out of the sea of sleep. Who the hell could be calling at this hour? Wait, what time was it? Where was I? I remembered everything and was instantly fully awake. If Serica was going to attack Kurisu, it would be on November 4th. I'd stayed over in Kurisu's room last night to keep her safe. Dad was away, tonight of all nights, on some conference or a meeting or something. Tell the truth. Yeah, that's absolutely what this is going to be, and we hope she does, I guess. It's up to me to keep Kurisu safe, but at some point I'd fallen asleep. Wait, where's Kurisu? I leapt up and looked at the bed, but she wasn't there. Where did she go? No way. Just before I raced out of the room to look, I caught a glimpse of my smartphone screen. The phone was still vibrating. Kunasato. It's rare for her to call me. What had happened? It is machine working, obviously, yeah. I grabbed the phone with a shaking hand, afraid for what I was about to hear. Hello? My voice was hoarse, since I'd just woken up. You were asleep, huh? I guess you're taking it easy. She was as rude as ever. Forget that. What's going on? Why are you calling me? Sorry, I don't have time to go over the details. I'll just tell you what I need. You know what yesterday, November 4th, was? My heart started to beat faster. The DQN puzzle. That's right. Just like we expected, there's been a new death. It wasn't Kurisu, was it? My heart felt like it was about to stop, but when she told me the victim's name, it was someone I never expected. The body was found brutally murdered late last night on November 4th. An examination of belongings and other things revealed that the victim's name was Wataru Sakuma, the owner of the children's welfare facility Alba Dorm. Oh. His dad is permanently away on a conference then. Okay. I mean, good, but it's gotta be Serica, right? I felt a shock, like someone had pounded a nail into the center of my brain. My ears began to ring, and everything started to feel unreal. Serica's pissed. That's true. If Nono could tell everything about Serica's past, she'd know that too, and she'd also be pissed. Dad had been killed? I pray that this was some kind of nightmare. Totally lying out to talk to that. 100%. Yeah. Yep. But I didn't even have the right to escape into my delusions. Dad, when? Oh, you're not going to ask if I'm telling the truth? I was going to be like, it's probably Serica, because how would Nono, like, how would she even do it? But it's like, we don't know what her power is. She could have something that could help defend her against mind control, or shield her, or just kill him from a distance. We have no idea. Normally you'd be a little more suspicious, or had you already suspected the possibility? Yeah, it's objectively a good thing, but he's the guy with mind control powers from the other ending. Like, he's actually super evil. Super evil. The guy who convinced Ito that he was in love with Mina Miyazawa and caused him to do that murder. All Serica can do is read minds, and she seems pretty good at murdering people, but her only power is reading minds. The dad's the one who can control them. So, yeah. Him being dead is not a terrible thing. Which is why it's probably Serica, because Serica's working with him, because he helped her accomplish what she needed to do, but also, like, didn't like it, and he eventually tried to kill her anyway. Yeah, that's the end of the common route, is that. No, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you the details. Please do. The time of death was between 10:30. Yeah, no, you probably just blocked it out, because there's quite a few bits of this game that's just like, no, I don't need to remember that. That's okay. No, that's just too sad, too traumatic, too much. I get it. I get you. Time of death was between 10:30 and 11:30 p.m. on November 4th. The cause of death was the severing of the carotid artery with a sharp blade. There was only one strike, but it was fatal. Correct, that's also true. There is a lot of stuff that has happened. 100%. This has been a dense, long game. So I fully feel that. There were no signs of resistance or struggle, but the blade came from the front. There are three possibilities here. The first is that the victim and killer knew each other. The second is that the killer set an ambush and caught him off guard. And the third is a combination of the two, so it does not rule out Serica or Nono. I would argue it makes Nono more likely, because he'd be at least a little on guard with Serica, because they definitely know they kind of... It's a truce, not an alliance. It's barely a truce. Whereas I don't think he'd even have his guard up. Kunosato's tone was common level. And she's not here. But we don't know when the events of last night really happened. We know when he died. But, like, did we get back here before 10:30? Like, I don't remember the timing of it all. I don't know if it checks out. Because at some point, clearly, he got back and fell asleep. If all that stuff happened at, like, 8, sure, that could happen. But if they got back here at, like, 11? I don't think he fell asleep that quick. Nono's power is true. Well, he might have some ideas. Because Serica would know, and Serica might tell him, because they were working together. But they also might not. So I don't know. She was like a doctor telling a patient the results of the exam. But to be honest, I preferred it that way. That's all I know. The police will be contacting you eventually. If you figure out anything, call me. Excuse me. No, true. But Yuto's here, and to the best of our knowledge, he's not. Maybe it's just because inseparable from sister. But he's not, to the best of our knowledge. But you're right, yeah. Once she was done talking, she hung up. But I kept the phone pressed against my ear, barely aware of what I was doing. Maybe they were just just because Yui, they were a set. Dad had been killed. It didn't feel real hearing those words. Oh man, he doesn't know how good of a thing this is. But just like Kunosato had said, there was no point in her lying. And if she was telling the truth, the murderer was probably, no definitely, Serica. Or no. But why would Serica kill Dad? Oh, for good reason. Because he needed to finish a string of killings? Of course, that was probably part of it, but why Dad? Had she gone after Dad since I was keeping her from getting to Kurisu? No. No. Now's not the time to be thinking about that. Dad was murdered, and I was the reason. Did he gotta wonder? Yeah. I killed Yui, and I killed Dad. That's not right. What about Kurisu? I ran into the living room and found her. Oh, well, there she is.
Kurisu.
She was standing there in shock, holding the phone in her hands. She slowly turned towards me and spoke in a voice that was barely audible. Takeru, Dad is...
Kurisu.
I ran to her and grabbed her before she could hit the ground. Takeru, they said Dad's dead. Dad's... Yeah. You knew? How? Kunosato just called me. I see. Her hands gripped my arm so tightly that it hurt. I was gonna say, this seems too real, but, like, we know she's good at hiding the truth and acting, so, like, I don't know. Yeah, we don't, because we don't know how much stuff she's been lying about. To be honest, I'd never seen her so weak before. She'd always been strong. I'd like to think this is probably not her acting, but, like, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I'm leaning towards she's not acting, but it's not 100% certainty. But now Yui and Dad were dead. And at the hands of a person she thought was a friend. I also don't think she's bad. Though she is clearly lying about a lot, I agree. I do not think she's a bad person. I do not think she holds ill will. I do think, however, if she found out of nowhere that the person she considered a father was not just bad, but a mind-controlling, killing her sister type of bad, I absolutely think she might go after him. Yes, I agree, Potions. I 100% agree. I do not think she's a bad person. But I think she's absolutely capable of trying to take down someone who is a bad person, which is why she went after Serica. The same way she would go after Serica, her best friend, I think she'd go after her father if she found out the lengths of pure evil he was. Yeah. But I agree. I do not think she's bad. Even though she's clearly hiding something, I do not think what she's hiding is like, I was the mastermind all along. It's like, clearly she's hiding something, but she has only ever shown at any time trying to do good by people, especially Taku. Yeah, she did say that. So, what do we do, Takeru? What do we do now? Right, Yuto. We have to tell Yuto, and then Yuki. Then we have to go to the police to confirm his identity, they said. Then we have to call the school and... Calm down, Kurusu. Strangely, it seems that being in the presence of someone who was more panicky than yourself actually made you calmer. I softly patted her on the head. Just like she'd done for me last night. Not now. For now, you don't need to think about anything. Of course, I didn't actually make it better. Without Dad, we had all kinds of problems to deal with. But first, we'd have to calm down. I'm sorry, Takeru. Just give me a little time, and I'll be back to my usual self, so... Only then did I finally realize. Kurusu had probably always forced herself to be strong like this, no matter what had happened. She's told herself she needed to be tough no matter what. That she'd had to be strong to protect Yui and Yuto without me at Alba Dorm. But I'd been selfish, and... It's okay now. I'm here for you. It's probably what I should have said, but all I did was gently rub her back. The next few days were a blur. We had to go to the police and ID the body, then get the death certificate. I was surprised at how much work there was for the family of a murder victim to do. I was worried that there might not be time to properly mourn, but maybe it was better to be so busy that there wasn't time to remember you were sad. Both Kurusu and I were able to forget about things during all that. The problem was Yuto. He'd lost his sister, and now his adoptive father was dead. He was never a strong boy to begin with, so he was in pretty bad shape. But Yamazoe was what saved him. She stayed with him the whole time while we were running about. After the autopsy of Dad's body was finished, it was decided that he'd be cremated. We didn't have the money for a funeral, but a local neighborhood group put together enough money for the cheapest service available. We somehow managed to make it work. A lot of Dad's old patients came by to pay their respects. Yep, but they don't know that. Yeah. And when it was all over, we suddenly found ourselves facing a new problem. What? You're telling us we have to leave? I really hate to make things worse for you guys after everything you've been through, but I'm going to, right now. Shinjo had come to visit us that day in Alba Dorm. He had a bitter look on his face as he spoke. You couldn't give him... Section 2 did some looking around after the murder, and it looks like Sakuma didn't have insurance. Yes, that's true. I talked to him about it several times, but he always said it was too much of a bother. I never thought this would happen. Nobody expects murder. Never talked to Dad about money. She was the only one in the dorm who knew that. So you were in charge of the budget here? Yes. Then I'm sure you're aware the situation was pretty bad. He was running at a loss to begin with, and unpaid bills were piling up. Things were at their breaking point already. I knew we weren't rich, but I had no idea it was that bad. And yet Dad had taken us in anyway. Only now, when it was too late, did I realize how much he'd protected us. Yeah. And there's a mortgage on the building itself, too. Either you or Miyashiro is free to take it, but even if you did, it would immediately be repossessed, and you'd be left with nothing but bills. It's not what I'd call a smart decision. In other words, we had no choice but to leave. Hey, big sis Nono? Yuto was standing a little away from us, looking scared. What's going on? What's going to happen to us? You'd figure the landlord would be like, you guys can take a few months. But no, gotta, money, gotta, Well, they did say mortgage too, so it's not like a landlord, I guess. They owned it, they just mortgage. And, let's be honest, even if it was a landlord, they wouldn't care. And banks certainly don't care. Do we have to leave? I don't want to leave, this is our... It's the bank. I would still believe that even if it was a landlord, they wouldn't give a damn, but for sure the banks don't care at all. Yeah. This is our home. This is where me and my sister and dad and big sister Nono and big brother Takaru and big sis Uki all lived. I don't...
ゆうとくん
Yamazoe held him gently as he started to cry. Her face was clouded with worry too. I could understand it. She'd finally made it out of that basement and had only just started getting used to her new life, and now this had happened.
でも
But
急に
even
こ
if
こ
we
を
do
出
have
て
to
いけなん
leave,
て
we've
言わ
got
れても
nowhere else to go.
僕たちには他に行くところが
It's true, but it won't fit all of them. I could go back to the RV I'd been living in, but I wouldn't be able to fit everyone there. There's no room in there for 4 people, even if some of them were kids.
それなんだが
I think the best option would be for you to go to another orphanage.
別の施
Another
設
orphanage?
ただ
But
これも
there's
一
a
つ問
problem.
題があってだ
Ever since the earthquake, all of the
例の地震以
orphanages
降
in the
都
city have
内の
been
施設
full.
はどこも
Looks like
満
it's
杯
going to
な
be
んだ
hard for you all to go to the same
全員ま
place.
とめて同じ場所ってのは
Oh.
それってつまり
So that means we have to go to different orphanages?
そういうことになるだろうな
Does, yeah.
そんな
No. Yuto was the first to speak.
そんなの嫌
I
だよ
don't want to go. I don't want to leave or be separated from everyone.
そんなの僕
I don't. I gasped a little as I heard the tension in Yuto's voice. Never seen him express himself so clearly to an adult. That was how serious the prospect of leaving everyone was to him.
私も
I don't want that either. Yamazoe rubbed Yuto's back, speaking in a clearer voice than I'd ever heard from her before.
せっかくみんなと家
We're
族に
finally
な
a
れたのに
family. You can't just tear us
そんな
apart.
のひどいです
Shinsho scratched his head as if he wasn't sure what to say. He was a nice guy, really. Telling us this stuff wasn't even his job. But he was the one who had told us, and he was the only person we could complain to.
大丈夫よゆうと
Don't worry, Yuto.
それにユキちゃん
Uki, I'll do something.
なんとかって
Do something? Do what?
それは
Well, a part-time job or something?
バイトって
A job? You can't make enough money to support this many people.
でも学
What
校
if
を
I
辞め
quit
る
school?
本気か
Are you serious?
だって他に
There's
みん
no
なと
other
一緒
way,
にいられる
though.
方法な
I
んて
don't
な
want
い
us
じ
to
ゃ
be torn
ない
apart either. You're my
私だって
family.
僕も
I'll
働
work
く
too.
ゆうと
There's laws against that. Yuto?
のの姉ちゃんたちと一緒
I'll
にいら
work.
れるんだ
If
った
it means I
ら
can stay with everyone, I can deliver papers and stuff. I never expected Yuto to say something like that. His life here must have been very important to him. But it was important to me too. There was something else we had to worry about. Was Sarika going to give up now? She hadn't come after us so far, but there was no guarantee she wouldn't come after Kurisu again. Or maybe Yuto or Uki would be her next target. Which meant there was only one thing I could do.
生活は
I think we can get by for a while if we use my savings.
タクル
What savings?
問題は住
The
む場所
problem
だ
is that we need a place to live. But would any place rent a room to a bunch of students who just lost their father?
まあ
Yeah.
最初からこうなる
Well,
だろうと
I
は
figured
思って
this was how it was going to work out. Shinjo sighed and scratched his head some more, then took his phone out of his pocket.
何かいい方法があるん
Is
だ
there some way?
こういうのが得意な知
I'll
り合いに
talk
当
to
た
a
ってみ
friend of mine who's good at this stuff.
Ah.
It's someone you know well, but just so we're clear, I'm not making guarantees.
ありがとうございます
Thank you.
ありがとうございます
Kurisu, Yuto, and Yamazoe all bowed. Sheesh, this really isn't my
こうい
job,
う
you
のは
know?
俺の仕事じゃないん
He
だよ
mumbled to
な
himself as he dialed a number, then put the phone up to his ear.
あ
Oh,
Moshi-moshi.
hello? Momose?
あ百瀬
I
さん
need
で
to
す
talk to you for a moment. Do you have some time?
折り入って話があるんですが
She's one of the other, like, undeniably good characters. In both the games, she's curious, but she helps people out, and seems to side with people who also mean well. Alright, this is your new home. None of us were sure what to say when Momose took us to our new place.
ここ
This is
です
it?
か
It's an old rundown apartment building. Like, she's not, like, perfect, but she's clearly on the side of good and trying to help when possible. Like, clearly been built at least 30 years ago. Well, I didn't exactly have a lot of options for you. Just be glad I found something, okay? Light in the dark. Don't worry, Takaru, it may look a little beat up, but it's got everything it needs, and I'm sure we'll get used to
設備は
it.
ちゃんとしてるしそうだよタク
Can't
ル
wait to
兄
fight
ちゃん
Kiryu here. That's right, big brother Takaru. If we can all live together, it doesn't matter if it's a little old.
私も
I think it's wonderful
十分
too.
素敵なところだと思います
It really is kind of like her apartment, isn't it? Everybody was trying to stay positive, but I wasn't worried about the age of the building or the condition of the room.
違うんだ
No, that's
そういう
not
こと
it.
じゃないんだ
That too, but specifically Moeka, yeah, that Kiryu. It took me a second too, but once they panned out a bit, I was like, yeah, it's not? Then what's bothering you?
それは
Well,
やれやれ
sheesh, I wondered what all the noise was about. What's going on? Oh, do they live near her?
何の冗談だこれは
The closed door had opened and Kunosato... Oh, are they...
久野里さん
Kunosato, what are you doing here? Oh no. Oh no. Kurusu moved between Kunosato and Yuto as she spoke. This was bad. These two didn't get along. Of course, that was only because Kunosato hated us for no reason. Normally people bring a box of chocolates when they move in. You've got quite an attitude considering you came here
後
second.
から来ておいて後から
Second? Takeru, what does she mean?
それは
This is, the room next door is kind of hers.
お隣
She's our neighbor? Secret Kunosato route. I nodded silently. Kurusu grabbed Yuto's hand and headed for the door.
ゆと
Yuto, let's go. Come on, Yuto Yuki. This is the only house that could possibly keep us together. Bye.
あ
Huh? Big sis Nono?
クルス
Kurusu, where are you going?
決まってるでしょ
Somewhere else. I'm not living next to her. Yamazoe was standing in the center of the room fidgeting.
ここを出て行ってくれ
I'd
る
be
の
perfectly happy if you left, but do you have any place else to go?
あなたには関係
That
のないこ
doesn't
とです
concern you. Seeing Kunosato has caused the blood to rush to Kurusu's head.
落ち着けよクルス
Calm down, Kurusu.
冷静になれ
Relax.
だってタクレ
But Takeru, you know what kind of person she is, right? I mean,
この人がどういう
technically
人か
no. We know so little about her, but she does actively hate Gigalomaniacs, so that's not great. 3 of the 4 people living here were going to be Gigalomaniacs. I do, but if we leave, where are we going to go?
あなたが住んでた
Go to that trailer you live in.
ユウトやウキもいる
With Yuto and Yuki?
それは
Well... We'll get another trailer and staple it to that one. I'm sorry about this, but I couldn't find anything else. Momose looked a little upset at seeing how poorly Kurusu and Kunosato got along. Only when she saw that did Kurusu let go of Yuto's hand.
のの姉ちゃん
Big sis, no, are we gonna lose our home? I'm sorry, it's fine. I wasn't thinking.
大丈夫よ私がどうかしてた
She gently patted Yuto in the head and turned to Kunosato.
でも言っておきます
But
けど
just so we're clear, you're just our neighbor. If you try to do any experiments on Takeru or Yuki, I'll make you regret it.
それはこちらの
You better not cause any trouble either. If you make a lot of noise, I'll pound on the wall without mercy.
容赦なく壁を殴りつけるからな
Nono's like, if you experiment on somebody I like, I'm going to kill you. And she's like, yeah, well, if you make a lot of noise, I'm going to knock on your wall and annoy you a bit.
それから
And I don't want to run into you out in the hall either. If I'm out there, you stay inside.
私が廊下に出た時には
Kunosato turned and walked back down the hall to her own room, her footsteps creaking on the wooden floor. What is that girl's problem?
なのよあの
A
人
true arms race, yup. Kurusu stuck out her tongue at the closed door. Is she a little kid? Well, it was rare to see Kurusu acting like a little kid. In a sense, Kunosato had a unique talent for bringing that side of Kurusu out.
すまないわね
I'm sorry, guys.
いいえこちらこそすみま
No,
せ
I
ん
should apologize to you. You've been very good to us.
あの子もいろいろ
She's got a lot of problems of her own. Try to cut her some slack. Problems. Only then did I wonder for the first time why Kunosato was so obsessively pursuing the case. Secret Kunosato route? She was originally a brain scientist, supposedly. But I doubt she'd tell me if I asked. No, not a chance in hell. Hey, you guys, why are you standing there talking when you're making me work? Get some stuff yourself.
あすみません
Oh, sorry, we'll go now. Come on, Takeru.
あうん
Oh, yeah. I'd play a mean Kaiakis, Kunosato. She would, wouldn't she? She would. When Shinjo and Momose finished carrying everything in, they left, and we were alone. Kurusu had split up the work for the move. This wasn't a big room, and we had a lot of people. We couldn't bring in most of the furniture, and even if we did, there'd be no place to put it. She is a Kai man. In the end, we only brought clothes, daily necessities, and a few mementos, so it wasn't too much work. My internet was set up, so at least I had that. Kurusu stood in the kitchen, filling a pot with water. She put the pot on the burner and turned on the gas.
ご飯おそばでいいわよ
Soba's fine for dinner, right? No. Yeah, of course it's fine. Oh, I know about that. That's what you eat when you move, right? Is
と言うん
it?
ですよね
Luz wants to switch to RAM. Full stop.
ええ
Yes, you're actually supposed to take it to the person next door, but Kunasawa's the next door neighbor. Even if we did take it, I doubted she'd eat it.
おそば
Soba?
ゆうとは
Did you
カレ
maybe
ーと
want
か
curry
ハ
or
ンバーグと
hamburg
か食べ
steak?
たかったかしら
No, but how about yakisoba pan?
う
No, soba's fine.
そうごめんね
Nessie, sorry about this.
私手伝い
I'll
ま
help
す
you.
ありがとう
Okay, thanks. Can you get the
それ
dishes
じゃあ
ready
食
and
器の
wipe
用
down
意
the
をしてくれ
table?
るかしらそれからテ
You
ー
said
ブ
you
ルを
didn't
拭
mind
いて
soba, but Akira Yuto's age must have wanted to eat something different. I mean, I like soba no. Hamburger. Or hamburger, yes. But he was probably trying not to cause a fuss because of how little money we had. And Yamazoe was trying to find her own role in the family.
Tasty.
But
ごちそうさまで
thank
し
you for the food.
たお粗末様でした
Thank you for eating it. We found a place to live, but there was still so much to worry about. If I was just trying to survive on my own like I had been in the RV, that would have been fine. But now things were different. We had to survive on our own now, with no one's protection. How long would we be able to keep this up? I had no clear vision for the future. I realized once more how much it meant for Dad to take us in. No, it didn't.
タクル大丈
Takeru,
夫
are you okay? Did you eat enough food?
あ、うん
Oh, yeah,
もう
I'm
十分
full.
だ
Starting
明日
tomorrow, I'll
か
make
ら
some
は
better
もうちょっと
meals.
ちゃんとしたご飯
Wasn't
作
really
るか
worried
ら
about
ね
that, but I nodded anyway.
それじゃあ
I love how his default portrait is always him just like slightly shocked and taken aback by something constantly. That's just his default shocked face. Alright, now that our bellies are full, let's do this. Kurusu sat up straight.
今日からここが
From now on, this is our family's home.
なんだよいきなり
What's this all about?
新しい生活
It's a way of starting off our new life.
そんなの別にいらないだろ
Yeah, of course they missed the dad, because in this timeline they don't know. Kurusu might. But the rest of them don't know. It's Mountain View in Cool Cat Press. No, he can't have those here. He's got Cool Cat Press in the RV. He can't leave them here. You don't have to do that.
あらけじめが
No,
大
this stuff
切
is
よ
important. That was just like Kurusu, though.
さて
Now, we're going to make a
新しい生
promise
活
as
を
we start
始
our
め
new
るにあ
life
たっ
here.
て約
A
束
promise?
そう
Yeah,
と言っても
it's the same as before,
前
though.
と同じよ家族の間で隠し事
No
はしない
secrets
こ
between
と
family members.
これだけは守ってほしいの
Okay.
もう二度と家
Keep
族
this
がバラバラに
promise
ならないよう
no
に
matter what, so that we don't get torn apart again. Really? Really? For her to say it, not, well, to be fair, in hindsight, it was depressingly hilarious for their dad to say it too, but like,
クルス
it felt like an expression of her resolve to me. She never wanted me to leave her again. Well, then she could tell you the truth occasionally. But hey, you know, whatever. Yeah, got it. I
約
promise.
束する私も約束
I promise
しま
too.
す
Yeah, you have two people who earnestly promise it. One who's like, yeah, I'll promise it. And one who's like, I promise.
タクルは
What about you, Takeru?
あ
Yeah,
あ
I
約束す
promise.
る
よろし
What
い
about you, Kurusu? Very good. All right, everyone. Welcome to your new home. What about you, Kurusu?
お願いします
And thus, our new lives began.
あら
Oh dear,
You
Yuto, you
took
look
that
tired.
long, I'm
That's
sorry.
right, you worked hard today.
それじゃあ
Let's take a bath and get you in bed.
うん
Okay. She doesn't even... Well, the assumption is she proposed it, so clearly that means she does. Fortunately, as beaten up as his apartment was, it had its own bath and toilet. To be fair, there weren't that many public baths left lately. An apartment building without baths and toilets wouldn't make it. And she said, ara, ara, clearly. Looked at the clock and it was just past 9. Felt like a long day. Living in the same room as other people meant that you couldn't set the pace of your own day. I realized that just over these few hours. I'd lived with others before, but I'd always had my own personal space. Here, though, I didn't. If I wanted my space, I'd have to leave. Of course, I couldn't ask for too much right now, and anyway, I felt a kind of peace here.
タクル
Takeru, I took a bath already. Why don't you take one too? You're all sweaty, right?
あ
No, oh, I'm fine.
ダメよ
You are not fine. I'm not letting you into the futon until you're clean. I used to find Kurusu annoying at times like this, but now...
うーん
I'm sure they were both
二人と
tired.
もよっぽど
They
疲
fell
れて
asleep
た
the
の
second
ね
they lay down.
Mm.
Yeah. We'd never all slept together on the floor like this before.
な
Hey, Kurusu?
大丈夫よ。
It'll be fine.
父さんもいなくなって
You're gonna ask how we're gonna survive without Dad, right?
なんで
How?
タクルの言いたいことくらい
I
わ
know
か
what you're
る
gonna
わ。
say. I'm your family, your big sister.
クルス
It is a good track.
まだそういう。
I still really like the one that very obviously sounds like Terraria music, because it very obviously sounds like Terraria music. You're still calling me that, huh? Oh.
うん。
No, it's fine. Someday just go back to the old way, if you can.
ごめん。とにかくね。
I'm sorry. Anyway, as long as we all work together, it'll be fine. It'll work out. No, I'll make it work out.
だから。
So, it was as if she was talking to herself. Having everyone together in that old home had been really important to Kurusu. I realize now that she was probably the one who was most hurt when I left. And also the one who's the most nervous
家
now.
族
Family, huh?
なんでもないよ
Nothing. Good night.
うん。
Yeah, good night. Family, huh? Man, it would be really, really a shame if you were still lying to me about things. After making that big speech about family, would we be able to be a family again here? I almost said the words, but was too embarrassed. But listening to everyone snore next to me brought me a great deal of peace.
タクル。タクルったら。
Tucker, wake up! Kick him in the head.
しょうがない
Fine, we'll do this the hard way.
タクル、起き
She's just, they cut to the CG of her just about to do like a flying elbow drop on him in the bed. Just mid-air, elbow out, falling. What?
ろ。や
Huh,
っと
you're
起きた。
finally up. Oh, why did you yell? You scared
い
me.
つまで経っても
Because you wouldn't wake up
あな
any
た
other
が
way,
起きないからで
right?
しょ。
だからって
But you
そん
didn't
な
have
起こし
to.
方
Huh? Wait, why was Kurusu waking me up in this room?
タクル兄
Big
さん
brother Tucker,
起きる
you're
の
so
遅い
slow getting up.
みんなとっくに
Everybody else got up long ago.
あ
Oh, yeah, I
そ
see.
うか
That was right. We're all living here now. Literally under the same roof.
それにしても
But still, couldn't you try and wake me up a little more gently?
何言ってるの。
What are you talking about? I tried that at first, right? Yep, at first her voice was really gentle.
それでもタ
But
ク
you
ルさ
still
んは
didn't wake
なか
up.
なか起きないから。
Evidently, it was 3 versus 1.
それより
Anyway,
朝ごはん
breakfast is
でき
ready.
るから
Put your futon away and get
お布団
dressed.
あ
Oh, I'll
朝
skip
ごはん
breakfast.
ダメ。
No, you need to eat breakfast in the morning or you won't have any energy. Come on, go.
ほらほら。
I still wanted to sleep, but she took my futon from me.
ち
Yama's always looking at us as if she found something strange.
何
What?
いえ。
No, I was just thinking that you look like a real brother and sister.
あら。
Oh, of
だって
course,
家
we're
族だも
family.
ん。家族で
Family?
すか。そうよ。
That's right, of course, so are you, Yuki.
あなた。
I am too.
私も。
Emma's always smiled, embarrassed. Kurusu looked happy to see her that way, too. After breakfast, I used my Pokecom to look for information on the murders. I've been too busy lately to check, but I was sure there must have been some developments. Yeah, Chaos Shield's very good at that. Get the good slice of life going before you rip the band-aid off. Yeah. Very heavily insisting on this family thing now. Yeah. But she kind of sees herself as having to lead this family right now, which is correct, because Taku's not gonna. And she's got to stay positive and stay strong. That's always how her character's been in general, but like this is obviously cranked it up to 11. So what else can you do? I still hadn't been able to get to the police about Sarika. Probably should have told Shinjo already, but I just couldn't figure out why Sarika would do something like that. Kurusu had said she'd done it for me, but if that was true, then it meant that I was basically the one who'd killed Yui and Dad. No. Was it okay to make Sarika suffer for that alone? And why did Sarika think that's what I wanted anyway? Was that truly what I had wanted? No, that was impossible.
できた。
It's done! Kurusu had been playing with a roll of fabric.
何を作ってたんですか。
What were you making?
カラーボックスの
I
と
thought
こ
it
ろ
would be
に
nice to have a
カーテ
curtain
ン
over
が
the
あった方
shelving.
がいいと
You
思
know,
って
we don't want to leave the dishes exposed, or they'll
食器
get
とかも引
dusty.
き出しそれからこっち
And this is
は
for the doorknob and tissue box, little things like this can where they
こう
brighten
いう
up
ち
a
ょっ
room,
と
you
したも
know?
のでも
Wow, you're right. Kurusu was steadily turning the room into a place to live. That's bugging me. Well, I doubt I would have thought about any of these things, but it was true that having them here made the room feel much more like home.
私にも
could I do that?
できるでしょ。もちろんよ。
Of course, I'll show you. Let's do it
一緒
together.
に。はい。
Okay. Yamazoe had said that we looked like brother and sister, but she and Kurisu looked just like a pair of sisters too.
ユウトは何してるんだ
What are you doing, Yuto?
勉強。学校の
Studying for school?
見てやろうか
Want me to help?
いいの？
Really?
ま
Yeah, and I guess I can do it once in a while. There's nothing for me to do here anyway. And
それ
Alright,
じゃあ
tell me how to do
学校
this.
教えて。
For now, I wanted to treasure this peaceful time.
あ何
What?
なんでもない。
Nothing?
なんだよ
What?
だからなん
I
で
said
もないってば。
nothing. Weirdo.
そういえばクルス
Hey, Kurisu, don't you have to go to school today? After everything that had happened, and then moving on top of it all, we hadn't had time for school. Neither of us had been in a while. Of course, the school was being understanding, but we couldn't skip school forever.
もう何人事みたいに言ってるのよ。
Back on the roof
それは
ledge.
タクルもでしょ。
Okay. You have to go too, don't you, Takaru?
だって僕と違ってクルスには生徒会があるだろ
But you've got the student council, and I don't, right? You can't keep missing days.
生徒会のことは
Kawahara's
川原
handling the
さんに
student council
任
for
せたから
me.
平気よ。
It's fine. My term's
どっ
almost
ち
up
にして
anyway.
もそれに
And we can't go to
こ
school
の
and
状
leave them
況で
here, can
私
we?
たちだけが学校に行くわけにもいかないで
That was
しょ。
true. It wouldn't be right to go and leave Yuto and Yamazoe behind. But I couldn't send Kurisu on her own either. There was no telling when Serika might come.
ねえタクル、
Hey, Takaru?
セリカのことだけ
About
ど
Serika. Yeah. Hearing her name from another person's mouth made me tense. I didn't want to believe she was the killer. Excuse me. But the way she'd been acting and the way she'd been trying to kill Kurisu, damn hiccups to it. Those were both real.
考えてみれ
I
ば
thought about it and I
私
realized I don't
セ
know
リカのこ
anything
と
about
何も
her.
知らないの。
Except you literally were reading her. It's fine.
Huh?
Huh? What are you talking about? You guys were friends, right? She likes sweets and grapefruit juice. She's a bit of an airhead.
そういうことじゃなくてね。
Not that. I mean, like,
その
where she lives, what her
住んでる
parents
と
are
こ
like.
確かセリカ
Serika
も
got
地震
hurt
で
in the
怪我し
earthquake
たの
too,
よね。
right? Where were her
その
parents?
それは
Well,
ご両親は生きている
they're
のよね。
alive, right?
何を
What
し
did
て
they
いる人？
do? Have you ever
会った
met
こと
them?
タクル、
You've known her since she was a
あなたは
kid,
子供の頃
right?
から知ってるんでしょ？
Normally, oh,
普通それくらい付き合いが長け
she
れば
didn't tell
家に行っ
him
たことくらいあ
that
るも
Serika
のじ
was
ゃない？
created. She just told him she did it for him because it would be interesting. Okay, so either she doesn't know the full thing either, or she does and she's trying to slowly break it to him. Normally, if you've known someone that long, you'd have gone to their house at least once or twice, right? I was stunned. Serika and I had been together for years. After she died in Kamaru, yeah. I didn't know anything about her parents or her house. Well, the difference here being that when they were clashing blades, Kurisu could read her mind too, so in theory she knows this, but I don't know how deep that goes. Maybe she only got surface thoughts, maybe she got the whole kit and caboodle, I don't know. I don't know anything about her parents or her house. They'd never come to a school field day or parent-teacher meetings. She never talked about them, and I never brought it up. Stringing him along with this, or really trying to find out? Yep, not sure which. They should have at least come up in conversation a few times. I don't even remember that. In fact, I don't even have any photos of her from when she was a kid.
少し調べてみないといけないかもしれないわ。
November 11th, 2015.
お邪魔します。
Excuse me.
あら、新庄ちゃん。
Oh,
い
Shinjo,
らっしゃい。
hello. Kunosato Momose smiled as... Katsuko Momose smiled as Takeshi Shinjo came into her office.
あらあら。
Oh my,
相変わら
you're
ず
as glum as
いい
ever,
顔
aren't
背負
you?
ってるわね。
We need to change the pace once in a while, though I guess that's not really possible, is it? Between you and me, I've always wanted to be a hard-boiled detective
タフな
type.
ハードボイルドに憧れて
Man,
た
I
り
always
するんです
dreamed
よ
of
ね
being depressed all the time. Shinjo was unconsciously patting his belly with his left hand. He was nursing a nasty upset stomach.
ほら、ちょう
Look,
どやってるわ
it's on
よ。
right now. Momose pointed at the TV, where a news show was doing a panel on the murders. You could probably find the same topics on every channel. Let's go over the events thus far once more. The return of the New Generation Madness was believed to have ended with the arrest of a suspect. However, on November 4th, the same date as the DQN puzzle murder 6 years ago, another murder took place. And what's more, the young man who was arrested as a suspect suddenly began to deny all involvement yesterday. Our sources state that he's declaring his innocence in regard to all the murders. Some people are saying that the police may have arrested the wrong person. If they did, this is a serious issue. He's a minor after all. They treated him as a murderer when he was actually innocent. Some human rights groups are already protesting, and I would expect to see more protests in the future. Just like the commentator on the TV had said, the police had already turned against the public had already turned against the police. Shinjo and the rest of the force's reputation was in the gutter. I wonder who they usually depressed. Yeah. Or have a gun for a head. Yeah, clearly. No, he'd be lucky if he was just damage to his reputation. I wonder who they did arrest. At some point, he'd probably be asked to resign. Must be tough. Yeah, that's right. And now they tell me Shinji Ito's been released. Oh, they arrested Ito as... Well, I see. He was released. That's right. Kunosada did everything she could. His brain's in a much better state now. The problem is that Section 1 arrested him because he's been insisting he was the killer, but Kunosada says that he was brainwashed. And we've matched the microscopic evidence from the past cases with Ito's DNA, and there's just too much that doesn't make sense. Microscopic evidence is analyzed with tools such as gas chromatography and electron microscopes, primarily used to refer to things like DNA, hair, fingerprints, blood, semen, footprints, and tire tracks left at crime scenes. Microscopic evidence is admissible in a court of law. Edmund Locard, 1877 to 1966, who was known as the Sherlock Holmes of France, formulated Locard's exchange principle, which says that every criminal will both bring something into a crime scene and take something away. This principle became the foundation of modern forensic science. The rocket. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. You managed, I read that. But still, releasing him was a pretty bold move, wasn't it? If the media finds out about that, won't you be in trouble? I don't think we'll have to worry about that for a while. What do you mean? Ito's still in the hospital. It should appear that we're still keeping him under psychiatric observation. I see. He's a lot better, but his brain is still in a state of extreme stress. Extreme stress, huh? I'm not a specialist, so I don't know the details, but the numbers were bad enough before that he couldn't possibly have been sane. So fortunately, we're able to refuse any visitors. I see. While you're at it, why don't you spend some time in a hospital too? You look pretty tired. You haven't gotten any rest, have you? Alright, I should at least get a physical. Shinjo rubbed his stomach without laughing. His phone went off in his pocket. He took out his phone and looked at the name on the screen. It's Miyashiro. Oh my. Hello, this is Shinjo. What is it? Did something happen? Seems like he wasn't going to get that physical anytime soon. Yeah, poor guy. Welcome. Oh, it's you. I went to the place Shinjo suggested and was greeted by the same rude waitress as always. You're alone? No, I'm waiting for someone. I looked around and saw Shinjo in the back. He was looking out the window and rubbing his stomach. I nodded to the waitress and went to sit with him. I like the implications that she's friendly to everyone but Taku. Because she's always like, welcome. Oh, it's you. Unless she does that for everyone. Hey, you're here. Thanks for your help with everything. Yeah, don't worry about it. What do you want to talk about? Even now, I wasn't sure if I should tell Shinjo about Serika. Shinjo frowned. I'm really busy these days, honestly. I don't have enough time to do anything. I don't even have a second to waste. Yeah, I wonder, but unless it gets localized / I decide to emulate an Xbox and there's a fan translation, we're not going to know. It's a cafe, not a world hub. Yeah. Sorry. I looked at Shinjo's cup and saw that it was filled with milk. On the way he was rubbing his stomach, he might be feeling sick. I couldn't call him all the way out here and then just tell him it was nothing.
どうですね。
Well,
そ
I
の
had to ask.
その
If I asked you to look into Serika Onoe without asking me why, would you do
って言
it?
ったら、
お前さんを
Onoe? He looked at me appraisingly. The Snoop Dogg. A moment later, he shook his head a little. He'd grown a little chin stubble.
君と尾上さんの
I don't know what happened between you and Onoe, but I just got bit badly by a boy who cried wolf. I can't be using police resources without asking why. Boy who cried wolf. It was obvious who he was talking about. I'd seen the news that Ito had suddenly switched to proclaiming his innocence. The festivals had continued on 8chan's news board ever since the first report, and the threads were still popping up even now. I could imagine that things were tense at the police station right now.
そういうのは本来
You should really be going to a detective agency for that.
それは
You're
その
right, I think.
あったら理
So
由
at
くら
least
い
tell
は
me
話して
why. What should I do? Even if Shinjo did look into Serika without asking me any questions, if he found something, the results would be the same. I still couldn't bring myself to tell him, from my own lips, that Serika might be the killer.
しょうがないな
Oh, fine. Shinjo saw that I wasn't going to say anything inside.
尾上セリカの
You want me to look into Serika Onoe's background, right?
やってもらえるん
You'll
です
do it?
乗りかかった船だ
I've come this far, and right now, I need to grab onto any possibilities I've got.
理由は
You're not gonna ask why?
そんなもん
Doesn't matter at this point. My reputation's already gone to hell. Poor guy.
ただし
But if I do find something suspicious, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to shut things down. You're okay with that, right?
保証はないぞ
I could tell from the way he spoke that he wasn't joking.
はい。
Yeah. There's no backing down now. I said it aloud so that I could hear it too. I also hope so. To be fair, in none of the endings so far has anything bad happened to him, but we're still in an ending and we haven't hit the end of the true ending, so like... But so far, other than exhaustion, nothing bad has happened to him yet. In any ending. So... I'm back.
おかえり
Oh, welcome home. Yeah, he doesn't have to be like him in every way. Kurisu welcomed me home with a smile when I opened the door.
タクル兄ちゃん
Welcome home, big brother Takaru.
おかえりなさい
Welcome home. Yuto was sitting at his desk doing schoolwork. Yamazoe seemed to be studying too. Both of them looked up at the same time. I'd lived with other people at Alba Dorm, but we'd all had our own rooms. Felt a little weird to hear welcome home as soon as I walked through the door. But it wasn't a bad feeling at all.
頼まれてたの。
This is what you
これ
wanted,
でいいん
right?
だよ。
ありがとう
Oh, thanks. He definitely deserved better, yeah. I handed Kurisu the ingredients for dinner that she'd asked me to pick up before I left.
何
What's up?
ううん
No, never mind. Kurisu didn't ask where I'd been going when I left, but I was sure she could guess. She probably wanted to know how it had gone, but she wasn't asking for my sake.
それでよかったんだよ。
I got everything on the list, right? Huh?
頼まれてた。
The stuff you asked me to buy? Oh, yeah,
えーっと
konyaku, tofu, huh? What's this? Takaru?
ユウトたちだって。
Little kids probably want some snacks once in a while, right?
お菓子
Snacks! Yuto stood up when he heard the word snacks. His face broke into a huge grin when he saw the value-sized pack of yatkats in Kurisu's hand.
やったチョコレート
Yes, chocolate!
ありがとう
Thanks, big brother Takaru. Look, Yuki, it's chocolate! Chocolate! Do you like chocolate? Absolutely, definitely. Yeah.
ねえのの姉ちゃん
Hey, Big Sis Nono, can I have some chocolate? Because I know for sure they have Kit Kats in Japan, because my brother brought me back some funky flavors after he went there for a week, so I know for sure they've got them. Not a bucket of Haagen-Dazs. Yeah. Yeah. It is nice, for sure. Hey, Big Sis Nono, can I have some
お
chocolate?
勉強が終わったら
Once you're
ね
done studying.
やったー早く勉強終
One
わら
of
そ
the
う
varieties. Oh, they did. The ones I've tried have been good, but I've only tried a few of them. Yay, let's hurry up and finish, Big Suzuki. Okay. The two of them sat down at the desk and began to study even harder than before.
もうダメよ
Come on,
タク
Takaru, you know better than that. We don't know when we're going to need the money from now on, so you can't waste any.
わかってるけど。
I know, but it's just a little bag of chocolate.
たかがの積み重ね
All
が
these
その
little
う
things
ち
start to
大
pile
き
up,
く
and then... Kurisu stopped and shook her head.
うん
No, maybe you're right. We'll go nuts if we try to deny ourselves everything.
こういう時だものね。
Times are tough. We
少し
need
く
at
ら
least a
い
little
心
something
の
to
余
keep
裕
us
がない
going.
と。
クルス。
何？
What is it?
いや、
No, it's nothing. They're both just going to keep doing this to each other, aren't they? It seemed like she's changed a little since she'd come here. I was going to say that, but I stopped.
変なの。
Yeah, you're silly. When she smiled, it was a little more peaceful than the smile I was used to seeing. Maybe I thought I'd known everything about Kurisu, but I hadn't known anything at all. Do you now? I got the call from Shinjo that night.
信じたくはないだろう
Sure you don't want to believe this, but there's no doubts about it.
そう。
I see. Thank you. After I heard what Shinjo had to say, I staggered back to the apartment. When I arrived, Kurisu had just gotten out of the bath and was drying her hair with a towel.
タクル？
Sakura, where were you? You weren't here when I got out of the bath, so I was a little worried.
ちょっと心配し。
Chili Choco Bar? Interesting. We don't know any. Yeah, of course not. Silence. Takaru?
尾上が
Oh no, I couldn't say the rest of it. Yuto and Yamazoe were asleep, but I didn't want to talk about it in front of them.
タクル。
Kurisu stood up, slowly walked over, and held me tight. She slipped her hand around my back and patted me gently, like a child. Felt like she'd been doing this all the time lately. But for now, I just wanted to let her do it.
クルス。
Kurisu, Onoe
尾
is...
上が
大丈夫よ。
It's okay, you don't have to say anything now. You can calm down first.
落ち着いてから。
Yeah. Shinjo had seemed reluctant when I talked to him, but he'd acted fast after I left. The police must have been getting desperate. They wanted to make up for the mistake they'd made with Ito as fast as possible. Shinjo had persuaded his superiors and gone to search Serika's home. What he'd found there was... absolute darkness, both concerning her and everything about her. That's what he said. There were signs that Serika Ito had lived there, but there were no signs of her parents. There was, however, a body. It was the body of the person who had originally lived there. Serika had killed the home's original owner, hid the body, and taken their place. That's what he'd said. I wanted to tell him he must be joking. I wanted to scream that he was lying. I was the one who'd asked him to do it, and to some degree I'd expected this. Yeah, like, clearly she wasn't buying a house, so, you know. But hearing the truth felt like someone was cutting out my heart with a knife.
私じゃ
I'm not
ダメ。
good enough?
私じゃダメ。
I'm not good enough. I can be at your side forever. I can
セリ
take
カの
Serika's
代わりに
place.
ずっとあ
Is
な
that
たの
not
そ
good
ばにい
enough?
た。それとも
Or can I not take her place
私
at
じゃ
all?
セリカの代わりにはな
It's
れない。
almost like one human being cannot replace another human being. I realized clearly, my home was here. This was where my heart belonged. Here with Yuto and Yamazoe and...
ありがとう。
Thank you, Nono.
ノノ。
Yeah. When I finally said her name, she just nodded without saying a word.
炊飯器
I love how none of this prompts her to, you know,
知りませんでした。
tell the things. I mean, honestly, considering what she said in the original route before she went off to die, how, like, one day I'll tell you even though I think it's going to make you hate me even more, now that they're all in one room and they need each other to be there because they have to support each other, I feel like the chances of her actually saying anything goes down drastically. Unless something prompts it. I didn't know you could bake a cake in a rice cooker. I've never tried that, but I've heard you can. Huh, you can actually do a lot of things with a rice cooker besides make rice. Yeah, rice cooker is really just... It's more versatile than it seems, but I only ever use mine to make rice. Big Sis Nono really likes doing stuff like that. I also have one of the cheaper, smaller rice cookers because I don't need a fancier one. Gonna show up and provoke it? Maybe. Yeah. Rice cake, yeah. Steamed cakes, I've heard those work, yeah. I mean, probably something like that, Potions, because this can't just be a happy ending. As much as it would be nice if it was, it can't be. Something's going to happen. Starting to smell like chocolate, you guys. I'd only eaten a few hours ago, but the delicious smell was making me hungry again. Nono was in the kitchen making a cake with Yuto and Yamazoe. I was leaning up against the wall and half-heartedly watching them. My head was still filled with thoughts of Serika. Shinjo had asked me to meet with him this morning. He'd had all kinds of questions. Not like a fancy rice cooker, yeah. I don't have the fancy one, I've just got a basic one, but still works. How did I find out that Serika Onoe was involved in the case? Where was she now? Who was she anyway? Shinjo said that her family registration itself was fake, and he told me more. There was no sign that she'd ever existed until the time of the Shibuya earthquake 6 years ago. That was impossible. I remembered spending time with her. I could clearly remember going to A.H. General Hospital to look for Amy with her, and finding Senri Minamiyasawa in the middle of an experiment. I knew for a fact that Senri Minamiyasawa had been down in that facility before the earthquake. If she didn't exist, then what were my memories? But nothing I gave the police ended up being any real help. And yeah, it's basically more like a pressure cooker. There still wasn't a warrant out for Serika's arrest. That made sense, given what had happened with Ito. They probably decided they couldn't risk treating another minor as the killer and getting it wrong again. There was also the question of where Serika came from. If she had no family registration, then she practically didn't exist, and you couldn't prosecute someone who didn't exist. Ah, good to know. If you don't exist, you can do all the crime with no consequences. Perfect. And on top of all that, there was the fact that the rest of the world still didn't know about the Gigalomaniacs. They were probably being as careful as possible. Serika Onoe. Said her name in my mind. She had been with me forever. She'd always taken my side. And she'd done all those terrible things for me, but then just who was she? Okay, we're all set. Now do you just have to wait for it to cook? That's right, simple, huh? Hey, how long is it gonna take? About an hour? An hour, huh? That's right. It's not very exciting to just sit here and wait, so why don't we go somewhere? Can we? Yeah, it'd be fun if we all went somewhere together, right, Takeru? Huh? I wasn't listening. We were all talking about going somewhere. Where? Just for a walk. You want to come too, right? Come on, big brother Takeru, let's go! There wasn't much point sitting here and being gloomy. Alright, I'll go. Yes, Uki, let's get ready! Okay. Yuto was really excited. I've been keeping him inside lately out of fear that Serika might come. He was probably eager to get out of the house. Maybe it would be a good change of pace. We're all set. Nono, Yuto, and Yuki came back holding cones piled high with ice cream. The color of the ice cream was so bright it stung my eyes. Man, she went really quick from, we can't do frivolous things, to we're baking a cake, we're having ice cream, we're spending. Really quick. Here's yours, Takeru. She offered me one that was glistening with a thick coating of chocolate. Oh. I don't know. This it must not matter for anything, because the guide doesn't say anything. So, red or green? Or red or blue. Even now I still default to heckin' first game colors. Blue? Yeah, I feel like we gotta go positive in this situation, right? I feel like we can also naturally just assume Sora's screaming blue from somewhere. Red. Green! Well, green is blue, so it works. I took the cone from Nono's hands. You wanted chocolate and vanilla, right? I agree, Potions. Yeah. Nono knew exactly what I liked. It's good! Ice cream tends to be. Isn't it? It's delicious. Wait, we're making a cake too. Is it okay to have so many sweets? They say you can never have too many sweets, right? Hadn't she gotten mad when I brought those Gat Cats? But, well, if it made everybody happy, and Nono too. Oh. Saw all positive delusions. It's our last positive delusion. We've seen them all. This is so good. It's so sweet and delicious. I feel like I'm melting.
もとろけちゃいそう。
Nono devoured the ice cream and went right for the cone. She looked like she was in a state of ecstasy. Ah, that was so good.
なんだよ。
The end of Soar. That's the other side. That's true. Only depression remains. What? You're done already?
うん。
Yeah, but
で
she
も
looked longingly at mine. What?
こんなのじゃ
That wasn't enough. I want more.
もっ
Nono peered into my eyes. Her cheeks flushed red. She was fidgeting and rubbing her thighs together. It was kind of a turn on. Ice cream, man. Ice cream is powerful, okay? My heart skipped a beat. I stopped licking the cone and gulped down my saliva. Uh-oh, Soar. Immediate calls for Soar. Hey, Takeru,
タクルの
can I
舐め
lick
ち
it?
ゃダメ。
僕の
Mine? You can just go buy another one,
新しいの
right?
買ってくればいいだろ。
違うの。
No, what I
私が
want to
舐め
lick
たい
is
のはそっち。
that one. Taku? Nono looked at it and poked her tongue out. The pink flesh poked longingly through her pretty lips. It looks so good.
すごく美味しそう。
Just gonna blame Soar. Yep. Mhm.
ねえ、
It's all Soar's fault. Hey,
それ
can I lick it?
いい
Okay, but the little kids are watching.
いいわよ。
Doesn't matter. I don't care if they see me. Jeez, Taku, your delusions are something else. I'm just gonna sit here and sip my tea. It's gonna sip my heckin' tea. That was that okay? But Nono was practically begging for it.
そこまで言うなら仕方ないな。
If you really insist, but just a little,
ちょ
okay?
っとだけだぞ。
She gave me a seductive smile and brought her face close. Then she licked it with the tip of her tongue. They're gonna cut back and it's got like he's got some ice cream on his cheek or something. Her tongue moved from the tip down across the rest of it. It tastes like you, Taku. Oh my
味が
goodness.
する。
Her eyes were. He's got a second ice cream cone, right? He's got a second ice cream cone, right? We all know he's got a second ice cream cone. That's exactly what's going on. He was saving it for after the first ice cream cone. Definitely. Her eyes were looking up at me from below.
ね
More, give me more.
え、ちょうだい。
Game. Saw her tongue flick seductively for a moment before her tiny mouth swallowed the whole thing. Definitely ice cream. We should have gone red. We should have gone red. I'm not. No. Her tongue flicked about and wrapped around. Pleasure signals stimulated my brain one after another, and it was all I could do to stay standing.
タクルも
Takeru, I can keep going,
もっ
right?
ともっとしても。
クルス。
We trusted you, Gabe. Right? Ah. The walls of my reason collapsed. I'm gonna run, while we blame Taku for a lot of things, and we rightfully blame Taku for a lot of delusions, I am gonna say he's been living in a one-room apartment without leaving it basically at all with 3 members of his family for at least a week. More than normal, I can kinda see why his brain would be doing funky things for his imagination. Still don't love it, but I can at least kinda justify why he'd immediately go towards that, even though I definitely don't love it. The walls of my reason collapsed. My head shook up and down. Then say it aloud if you want. I'll lick it for you.
もっと舐めて。
I can't believe we just had Kirito's voice actor say that line, but we've also had him say a lot of other out-of-context entertaining lines in this game. Lick it more.
聞こえないよ。
I can't hear you.
舐めてください。お願いします。
Lick it, please. Alright, since you said it right, I'll give you a reward.
ちゃんと言ってくれたご褒美してあ
Her crimson lips opened again as she slowly put it in her mouth. He's definitely said
げる。これのやべ
words.
おいしい。
Takeru, your finger tastes so good. He just had some ice cream on his finger. Uh-huh.
ねえのの姉ちゃん
No?
タクル兄ちゃん
Wait.
どうしちゃっ
Hey,
たの
what's gotten into these two? She's like, I don't know what you're thinking, Taku, but I know I don't like it. And they're hiding. Don't worry, it's nothing out of the ordinary. What was I thinking about? Doing this in the middle of the street.
結局
We ended up using a lot of money,
お
huh?
金使っちゃったな
After we bought everything we needed, we'd run through quite a bit of cash.
これは
I guess starting tomorrow, we're going to have to cut back, huh? Nono sounded kind of happy. She'd been like that for as long as I'd known her. The worse the problem got, the more excited she was to solve it. That was one of the reasons everyone counted on her so much. Hmm? Excuse me. It was a phone call, but my phone was silent in my pocket. Which meant...
ごめん
I'm sorry, it's me. Nono took her phone out and looked at the screen, then put it back in her bag.
誰
What was that?
気になる
Curious? Yes, that's why I asked. No, just you didn't
なか
answer
っただ
it.
ろ
川原くんからよ
It was from Kawahara.
川原君
Kawahara? What did you do? You picked another blue...
いつから学校に来る
Sora, hold on. We'll play one for you. We'll play one.
なめてくださいお願いします
That's what you did.
もっとなめて
That's what you did, Sora.
るんだ
That's what you did. It's you and those damn blue delusions. Yeah, he calls sometimes and asks me when I'm going back to school.
なんだよ
What?
別に
Nothing. Weirdo.
あそうだ
Oh, right. You got a raffle ticket at the last place we went to, right?
ああそういう
Yeah, come to think of it.
多分この辺
I
でやって
think
る
they're
と
doing
思
the
うんだ
raffle
けど
somewhere around here. Normally I never paid attention to the things, even if I got them, but Nono always did. I can't tell if she's acting different here, or if it's just because throughout the entire rest of the game, he had left her, he was living on his own and just not coming back to his family, he was looking into the cases that she kept telling him not to look into. I'm not sure if she's acting different here, or if this is just her not having to deal with all that other nonsense, and this is just how she acts when that's not there. She was always kind of like a housewife that way.
あれじゃない
Is that it? Yamazoe pointed to a small tent where a man was outside yelling.
ほらタクル
Come on, let's go.
僕はいいよ
I'll pass. I've never actually won one of those things. Oh no, I always used to though. Oh, I remembered Serica again.
もうそんな
Come
こと
on,
言
don't be
わ
like
ないで
that. Look, the first prize is a
ほら
brand new
うん
Pokécommon
最新型
says.
ポケコンだって
Nono had very clearly heard what I said, but she was talking like nothing was unusual at all. That made me feel a lot better.
お願いします
Thank you. Oh, hey, you guys siblings?
わか
Yeah,
りま
can
す
you tell? Well, you all look like you're so close, so I sure can.
ねえタクル
Hey, Takeru, he says we look like a family. Yeah,
でも
but that makes me happy, but also a little sad, maybe? Huh? Okay, you get 4 draws in all.
はい
Oh, sure, 4 draws mean 1 for each of us. We're going to help too. Or you're going to help too, right, Takeru?
わかった
Fine. Sad? Why?
あそれ
Oh, can I go
じゃあ
first then?
ええどうぞ
Yeah, go ahead.
じゃあ行く
Alright,
ね
here you go. So I'm guessing they didn't win, or it took a long time to draw four lots.
残念
That's too bad.
僕
I wanted the portable game system, the second
あ
prize.
あいうのは当たらないよう
Those
に
ones are set up so you can't win. You don't even know if there's actually a
ち
winner
ゃん
mixed
と
in
当
with
た
the
りが入っ
raffle.
ているのかどうかもわからないんだ
そうなの
Is that true, Nono?
そんなことないわ
No,
よ
it's not. It's just not
ただ
easy to win
そんなに
these. I'm
簡
happy
単に
with what
は
I
当
got
たらない
though.
でしょうね
Nono patted her 24 rolls of toilet paper and smiled. I mean, shockingly useful, but also, why were the prizes new cell phone, portable gaming system, lots of toilet paper? Like, Yamazoe and Yuto laughed. Only then did I remember that at night, Yuto always used to cry or suddenly break out screaming. The trauma he'd experienced during the earthquake had given him scotophobia, the fear of darkness. I remember that because I remember thinking nyctophobia was the fear of darkness, but I think they're just different, slightly different. This was 2020, you don't understand? Yeah. But ever since we'd moved, that hadn't happened. Even after he'd lost his sister and adopted father. Of course, part of that was due to Yuto's own efforts, but it wasn't possible to get over a phobia just by working hard. A lot of it was probably thanks to Nono. Nono had become more of a mother than ever. She was looking out for everyone. That's why Yuto and Yamazoe were able to smile. Here, Takuru, you're having some of the cake we made in the rice cooker, right? Oh, yeah. You want a Mountain View, right? And Yuto wants milk and Uki wants tea?
あのさ、
Hey, Nono?
のの、
When I said her name, she stopped what she was doing and turned around. And smiled. You're going to call me that again, huh?
当たり前だろ。
Of course, your name's Nono after all. Yeah. The days passed peacefully. Why did I want it to be special? Or why did I want to be special? I didn't need to be special. I didn't have to be special. Kurusu had always told me that, so why did I only notice now? How stupid had I been? Several more peaceful days passed. Shinjo would contact me once in a while, but all he ever asked was if Serika had contacted me. That meant that the police hadn't found her either. I couldn't let my guard down, but nobody was capable of staying on edge 24 hours a day. And with everything that lay ahead of me, I couldn't live in fear of Serika forever. I had some savings built up, but it wasn't enough for 4 people to subsist on forever. I checked the employment sites for a good part-time job. Customer service was out of the question, so was anything involving physical labor. Looked for something. Oh, then you've taken out every part-time job in the city. Wow, with 2 strokes, you've decided no part-time jobs work for you. I looked for something that dealt with information, but of course I couldn't find anything. Part of me thought about asking Kunosato if she needed help with Shibuya News, but from the look of her apartment, she probably didn't have enough money to hire me either. No, wait. If we put more ads or something on the Shibuya News page and try to get some affiliate income, suddenly there was a knock at the door. Takuru? Nono was in the center of the room, sewing something. She tensed up. Only a few people knew about this apartment. It could be Serika. I suddenly motioned for the others to gather in the corner of the room and softly went to the door and reached out for the knob. But before I could open it, the door flung open from the outside. Hey, what's up?
Huh?
Peeking through the door were Arimura and... actual Best Girl. Arimura and Kazuki? Oh, ciao. It's been a while, guys. What are you doing here?
何しに来たんだよ。
Oh dear, is that any way to talk to your friends when they've come to check out on you after you stopped coming to school and answering our messages? Wow.
いや、
Yeah, on her route, Jude, she has another outfit where it actually says, like, Best Girl on her chest. Like, even the designers were like... Her route was also deeply strange. Oh, no, those are... The summary of her route is she has the power to make things she says become real with really random stipulations. She brought dragons and portal devices from an MMO into the real world, but then summoned a giant that her and Taku rode upon to defeat the big bad guy, and now they're basically going to end the world riding around this giant destructive titan. That happened. That happened. From here. Oh, I wonder. I know this game isn't super recent, even if it is more recent stateside, but I don't know if it's that old either. Like, I don't know exactly when it came out. Oh no, there was a reason for that. It probably works slightly different, but similar concept, it sounds like. I see. So is this your love nest, huh? Arimura grinned wickedly as she stared at the room. Love nest? What are you talking about? We're a family! Anyway, can I come in? I'm coming in. She came inside without waiting for an answer, or even taking her shoes off. She never did listen to what anybody had to say. Character that powers newer. Oh, okay, gotcha. Come on in and relax. Hana, make yourself feel at home. But yeah, that's why she doesn't talk, because she can even inadvertently make things become real. And even when she does talk, she ends every statement with maybe, in hopes of making it not a statement. So yeah, that's why she chooses not to really speak. Yeah, she did. Armor, you should probably make yourself feel a little less at home. Oh, don't worry about me. The cheap tea is fine. This girl. Anyway, this place is more of a crap hole than I expected. It's honestly kind of impressive. Yeah, she can it basically echoes around. Yeah, it's the power of rumors, kinda. It's kinda like that mixed with things she says. It's specific and uncontrollable and not always good. At this point, I was wasting my time even trying to say anything. Glad to see that Yuto and Yuki are doing well too. It's been a while, ma'am. Thank you. The two of them looked relieved to see the identities of our sudden visitors. Damn it, TH. Oh, cool, then perfect. It's an interesting idea for power, for sure. Sounds like it kinda sucks for the user. Inconsistent powers are never good for the user. Sheesh, I'm glad to see you two haven't changed. Nona must have been happy to see them because she had a big grin on her face. How are things at school? Nothing's changed, except that you guys aren't there anymore, right, Hana? They didn't really care about school, but Nona was the student council president. Must have been bothering her. Anyway, how'd you find out about this place? Oh, do you want to know? I bet you do. I've been trying to keep it a secret, so of course I did. Yeah, Shinjo. It turned out to be a simple matter. Yeah, he's the only one that really knows you're here, so. 2014, Legacy of Lunatic Kingdom was 2015. Very close. Okay. Interesting. Or maybe, like, they just had a similar idea. I don't know. Either way, it's an interesting idea that you don't see explored in much media, so. Ooh. At first he said he didn't know. Is he ever going to learn that he can't lie to me? So he had no choice but to tell her then. Well, he always has a choice. He could always say, I can't tell you. So you know about everything else? Yeah, wow. Who would have thought she knew all about my ability? I was able to fool me. Enemy or not, I'm impressed. I knew instantly that she was talking about Serika. Not saying the name was probably her way of trying to make me feel better. Or there's other people in this room. She was more delicate in things like that than you might expect, because she spent so much time worrying about what other people were thinking. Anyway, it must suck living next to... There was a pounding on the wall before she could finish her sentence. Be careful, the walls are as thin as they look, so she can hear everything you say. I bet she can hear it because she's trying to. Like she's holding a cup up against the wall or something. Can she lie detect a pound? More pounding. Maybe Arimura was right. Oh, go ahead, hit back. Come on, Kazuki, don't pound the wall back. It's not a competition. But if it was, we'd be winning. Just having the two of them here made this place feel like the club room. Alright, as for the reason we're here today, Arimura suddenly stood up and left the room. Come on, Hana, help me. Now it was Kazuki's turn to disappear. The two of them carried a large object into the room. In some of the things she emphasizes words. Okay, cool. Wait, this is from the club room. It was the map we'd used to track the case. Why did you bring it all the way here? Hana said she was bringing it, no matter what. Kazuki did? She said that ESO2 wasn't as much fun without you guys talking behind her. But you guys aren't coming to school, right? So we have to go to you, which means from now on, this is the club room. How selfish could you be? Maybe someone else might let her get away with that, but... Wait a second, we don't have the room for that thing, just look around. See, the Empress wouldn't. Well, you already brought it here, so it's yours now. Throw it out or do whatever you want with it. Nono sighed and shrugged her shoulders. She must have realized she was wasting her time. I mean, a good cork board is nothing to, like, throw away. Like, you got a ton of use for that. Tina Arimura could be a very scary woman to deal with. I assume they brought the whole thing, not just the physical map, but I could be wrong. Also, she needed help with it. She wouldn't need help if she just folded up the map. Alright, since we got no objections, I'd like to declare this place an outpost for the Hekiho Academy Newspaper Club. Arimura took out some Mountain View from the fridge and began to hand it to everyone. I didn't even feel up to complaining anymore.
皆さん準備はいい
Everyone,
ですか
are you ready? Kazuki applauded mechanically, a blank expression on her face.
それでは
Alright, cheers! Cheers.
えっと
Cheers. Plastic bottles hitting each other didn't exactly make for a good toast.
どうしたの有村
What's
さ
wrong,
ん
Arimer?
宮代先輩と
So you and Miyashiro are sleeping together in the same
ここで
room
毎
here
晩
each
シ
night,
ドニーを共にし
huh?
てるわけですよね
She's gonna keep down this route, isn't she? Smash Bros. Loose animation be like, you're not wrong, though. Maybe that's what she was thinking about. Oh, they made her spit out the mountain view.
しとね
Don't make it sound weird. We're all living in the same room because we're family, and Yuto and Yuki are here. Wow, this is the rare, outside of her route, Kazuki laughing. That really did, like, her route was depressing, but we got to see little moments of happiness, but that's really about it for her. Alright, Kazuki is Hine's sidekick. Now, they get along well, rightfully so. Her not speaking means that Arimura doesn't really have to worry about, like, is she lying or not, and that was a lot of what kept her from, like, being friends with a lot of people, so it makes sense they'd get along well. Kazuki must have found Arimura's words funny, because she was holding her stomach and laughing. I never did understand her sense of humor.
なるほど
I see, so it's the four of you, all in the same place. That sounds like fun.
楽しそうそうだ花
Hey,
私
Hana,
たちも
why
一緒
don't
に
we live here
頑張り
too?
ましょうか
は
It's a good reaction face for him. Huh? What was she talking about?
あのな
Listen, we're not living here because it's fun.
そうよ
That's right,
それに
there's
こ
no
の
room
部
for
屋に
anybody else to
これ以
live
上
here.
あーそうですか
Really? We could probably find a place to sleep, and if we all live together, we could cut down on
みんな
rent.
でお金を出し
They're not wrong. For some reason, Kazuki was nodding rapidly in agreement.
そんなこと言っ
But
ても
still,
それに
and what's more,
ほら
look at this
見てく
place.
ださいよ今のこの
They
状
just
態
make her spin around. Arimura stood in the middle of the room and spun around, her arms outstretched like a stage actress.
ね
See?
何がね
See what?
もう
Ah, so you're so dense. Listen, there's 4 girls and 2 boys in here right now. It's practically a harem for you, Miyashiro. Practically means it isn't, though. Yep.
おいお前たち
Hey, you guys! Also, fringe benefit to them staying here. It would really piss her off. Kunasato burst through the door and screamed.
隣で騒ぐなと
Told you before
何度も
not to make so
言っ
much
ているだろ
goddamn noise.
いい加減にああいい
Oh,
ところに
perfect timing. Why don't you join us?
一緒に
Join you?
またまた
Oh, come on. You were listening, right? Why don't we all live together?
お前
Is your head filled with maggots or something? Why would I want to?
生活費
You'd save on
楽に
living
なりますけ
expenses?
ど
Even she didn't refute that. She fell silent. Wait, was she seriously considering it?
冗談じゃない
Hell no. Why would I want to live
どう
with
して
you
私
people?
はお前
That's
た
the
ちと
stupidest thing
共
I've
同
ever
生
heard.
活を送らなければ
See,
なら
she
ないん
shot the
だ
idea right down.
とにかく
Anyway, no more noise. Any more and I'll jam electrodes in your brains.
次に騒いだら
Kunasato slammed the door shut loud enough to bother the other neighbors. It didn't seem like she was joking.
ほんと
Really? She doesn't get when somebody's joking.
お前たちが無駄に
It's your fault
騒
for
ぐから
making so much noise for no reason.
失敬な
How rude. I have a very good reason for... Oh.
私たちにはれっきとしたん実はね
Actually, there was
今日
another
来た
reason we
理由
came here
は
today.
もう一つあって
Arimura slapped her hands together as if she'd only just remembered.
伊藤先輩のお
Want
見
to go
舞い
visit Ito in the
行きま
hospital?
せん
We'd heard that Ito had been released, but I didn't know that he'd recovered enough to meet with people. He was still considered a person of interest in the case, so they were refusing most visitors, but Arimura said we could get Shinjo to let us in. For his part, Shinjo probably hoped that we could get some information from Ito. And if Arimura was there, we could tell if Ito was telling the truth. I wanted to know how Ito was doing too. We decided to have Yuto and Yamazoe stay with Momose while we were gone. She'd already taken care of Yamazoe before, so we knew it would be safe. Ito route too? Yeah, it's the everything route, clearly. Ito's room was on the top floor of the hospital. There were detectives stationed around the floor, but Shinjo must have sent word because they let us straight through.
伊藤
Ito?
あ
Hey. Ito looked up at us from the bed and grinned, just a little.
宮代
Hey, Shiro, guys, you came to see me, huh?
まあな
Yeah, I guess.
で
How you doing?
調子
How am I doing? Not bad,
体
probably.
調は悪くない
I'd expected Ito to be barely conscious, but his color was good and he didn't seem to be in a lot of pain. But
思ったより元気そうで
you're doing better than I thought. Oh, I brought you these. You can eat fruit, right?
ああ
Yeah, thanks. That was nice of you.
気をつ
Felt
け
like the
て
energy that had made Ito himself had vanished.
それで
So, started to talk and then fell silent. From what I'd heard, Ito had lost all of his memories of the incident. I wanted to see if that was true, but how to ask? Man, that seems... Man, just let the guy be.
その
Oh,
ゆいちゃんの
he knows. You hear about Yui, right?
覚えてる
Do you remember?
一応
A
な
little? The cops told me
刑
what
事さんにも
happened.
聞かれてるし
I
さ
couldn't tell if he was smiling or crying.
ごめんな
I'm sorry. If I'd been able to protect her, maybe Yui would have survived.
Eh?
Huh? Ito, what do you mean she might have survived? I mean,
だって
she was killed right in front of me,
俺の目の前
wasn't
で
she?
殺されたんだろ彼女
What was going on?
悪いな
I'm sorry. I really don't remember what happened over the past few weeks.
なんというのか
It's like... It sounds like something you'd hear in a movie, but it's like everything's shrouded in fog. To be honest, I don't even know what I'm
もやが
doing
かかっ
here.
たみたいっていうかさ
That's for the best, unless one of
なんで
them
自分がこん
says
なと
something.
ころにいるの
Looked
か
at
わ
Arimura,
から
she
ねえんだ
nodded
よ
silently. That meant he was telling the truth. Suddenly, Ito looked around the room in surprise.
あれ
Huh? Wait,
そういえば
where's Onoe?
尾上はどうし
Oh,
なんか静かだ
I
と
thought it
思っ
was
た
kind of quiet. I guess that's because she's not here. Did something happen?
いや
Oh, well,
ちょっとね
she's stuck at school,
学校
she
で居
said.
残りだって
That sounds just like
あい
her.
つらしいや
伊藤先輩にもよろ
She
しく
said to say
伝えてくれ
hello.
って言ってましたよ
そうか
I see. Well, I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to see her, but tell her to come by sometime. The hospital room is the most boring place in the world.
うん
If he didn't remember, there's no need to force him to.
伊藤君
Ito?
悪い
Sorry, I tried to remember things, and I guess it tired me out.
そう
I see. We should go then.
わざわざ来てくれたのに
Sorry to make you come all this
い
way.
やいいんだ
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Ito shrank down into the bed and smiled at us weakly as we left the room. Unfortunately, it was true that he didn't remember anything. No, he hadn't just forgotten. He'd replaced the bad memories with ones that were better for him. But he was a victim too, in a way, in many ways. It wasn't right to blame him and force him to confront the truth. I felt conflicted about it, though. Would Nono and I ever truly be able to be friends with him again? I wondered about that as I headed for home. Nothing happened for the next 2 days. Sariko was still leaving us alone. It might be time for me to head back to school, but with Yuto and Yamazoe to worry about, maybe it was still too soon. Then she showed up again.
チャオス先
Ciao,
輩方
guys! Oh,
ウキッチもユータッチも
Ukichi? Yutochi? Hey there.
チャオ
Ciao?
です
Ciao. She'd won Yuto and Yamazoe over too. The power of Ciao is strong. So, what are you doing here today?
あらまあ
Well, aren't you just a bundle of sunshine today? I told you the other day, didn't I? This place is now the Hekiho Academy Newspaper Club's outpost.
新聞部出張所だって
The corkboard was already situated behind us. I couldn't see it from here, but I would if I looked around. Made the whole place feel cramped.
部活はそれぞれの自主性
I'm
に
letting
任
the
せ
club
る
members do their own thing for a
だから
while,
わ
so
ざわ
there's
ざ
no
ここ
need
に
for you
来
to
る
be
必要
here.
はないそもそも有村
And you're in the literature club anyway, aren't you? She's a fan of the Chow Garden too, clearly.
いやー
I've been hoping I could put the writing skills I developed in the literature club to use here, and I'm here on an errand.
感謝される
You should be thanking me, not getting mad. Arimura puffed out her chest proudly.
頼まれ者
An errand? Unfortunately, it's not for you. It's for Kursu.
私に
For me, what is it?
さあ
I don't know, but Kawahara said to give this to you.
川原くんが
Kawahara did? Just as Nono took a stack of handouts from Arimura, her phone began to ring. She looked at the screen and ignored it. I didn't intend to look, but from where I was sitting I caught a glimpse of it. It was Kawahara, the person we were just talking about. She seems to ignore his stuff a lot. You sure you don't want to answer that?
後で折り返すわ。
I'll call him back later.
生徒会関
It
係
might be
の
about the student council, though.
それはちゃん
I've
と全
spoken
員
with the
に連
rest of the
絡
members
して
and everything's going
滞り
smoothly.
なくや
It's
ってもら
fine.
ってるから
What
大
did
丈
he
夫よ。
want then? Oh. Nono's phone rang again. And at the same time, there was a knock on the door. If that was Kawahara on the phone, who was at the door? Also Kawahara. Was it Sarika?
タクル、
Tension filled the room. With the phone ringing, we couldn't pretend that no one was here. Well, we could pretend we left the phone behind. Should we answer or not? Just as I finally decided to stand and answer it.
クルス
Kurusu,
いるんだろ
you're in there, right? It's me, Kawahara. Open
川
up.
原だ
So he's calling her multiple times, coming to the door, and sending someone else on an errand to go bring stuff here? It was Kawahara, the boy who was calling on the phone.
突然訪ねてきて
Sorry to just barge over like this, but I thought that it was the only way I'd
こ
get
う
to
でも
see
しない
you.
と会えないと思ったから
Kawahara bowed as he came inside.
もしかして
Suplex,
さ
yeah.
っきの電話は
Was that phone call?
イルスでも使われ
I
ると
didn't
困る
want you
から
pretending not to be here. I felt bad, but I decided to check.
確かめさせてもらった
In a cheap apartment like this, you could hear the phone ringing from the hallway. He must have figured that out. But why did he have to go through all this trouble? Maybe Sarika was controlling him, just like she'd done with Ito. Either way, it would be best to be careful.
それから気づいているだろうが
You've probably already figured it out, but I asked Arimura to bring you those papers so I could find out where you lived. I'm sorry.
そのことについても謝る
え
What?
そう
You
だっ
did?
たん
Wait
で
a
すか
second. Was I followed? She evidently hadn't
それじ
noticed.
ゃあ私
I whispered in her ear.
おい
Hey, can't you tell when someone's lying?
だって
He just told me to take these to her. That's not a lie.
それだけな
What
ら
a useless
嘘じゃないし
power.
その
Kawahara, why did you do
どう
all
して
this?
そんなことを
Nona glanced at Yuto and Yamazoe, who were shaking in fear in a corner of the room.
決まってるだろ
Why else? Because you're not coming to
だ
school.
からそれに関
I
しては
told you
言っ
about
たじ
that.
ゃ
I'm
ない
really busy right
今
now.
大変なのはわか
I know
る
you're busy, but you can't stay home forever.
だからっていつまでもこうや
それには
I've
いろ
got
い
my
ろと
reasons.
事情
Reasons? If you've got reasons, then tell me.
それは
That's... She fell silent. She certainly couldn't tell him that Sarika might be after her
俺に
life.
は
Is it something you can't tell me?
ごめん
I'm sorry.
もしかして
It's not because of him, is it? Oh. Kawahara looked at me. Wow.
そうか
I see. So it is him, isn't
やっ
it?
ぱり宮代
He
の
got
せ
you
いな
caught up in something again. That's why you can't come to school, right? Right? Oh, no. I wanted to say something back, but I couldn't. It was partially my fault, after all. Sarika had done all this because she thought it would make me happy. Which meant that the reason we were stuck here was my fault. Yeah.
おい宮代
Hey, Miyashiro, I told you not to get Kurusu caught up in your crap. Well...
違うの川原
No,
君
Kawahara, Takeru is... It's not Takeru's
タ
fault.
クルのせいじゃない
だったらなんで来
Then
られな
why
いんだ
can't you
よ
come to school?
それは
Because of my family, so it's none of your...
だから
家族
Family? You call them your family, but they're not your real family. Oh. Oh, him just being a little mad at Takeru was kind of just a, oh, he's, whatever. That's a dick thing to say in front of all of them. You know, if you're trying to impress her and eventually, like, win her over, that's not how you do it, man. Time to go burn in hell, yeah. I could see Yuto freeze in the corner of the room. Yeah, Yamazoe was next to him, rubbing him gently on the back. Kawahara hadn't noticed the change that had overtaken the rest of the room. He was still talking.
宮代だって
Yeah, sure, these other people you're living with, you're all just playing at being a pretend family, right? And anyway, I've known you for longer than any of them.
俺だ
やめて
Stop it.
なあ
We've always been together, ever since we were kids. You, me, and Miyasawa.
俺はさ
Ever since then, I've always loved you. We know. You're not subtle about it. What? She didn't, apparently. Another shockwave went through the room. It was a sudden confession of love. It's not that shocking, to be fair. Of course, even I knew that Kawahara was in love with Nono. Good. Even he knew. But I didn't expect him to say it in front of so many people. Even Arimura was stunned into silence.
もう一度言う
I'll say it again, Kurusu.
待って
Stop it, Kawahara. We can talk about this some other
その話は
time.
また違う時に
いや証人
No,
もいる
there
から
are
だし
witnesses here, and I want to say this in front of them. I love you, Kurusu. There are witnesses here who I just insulted every last one. I guess not Arimura. Didn't insult Arimura.
川原君
なんで
Why? Why do you look
そ
so
んな困った
upset?
顔するんだよ。
だって
Because, I mean, yeah, your adopted family isn't real. Love you, BT Dubs.
お前だって分かって
You
た
knew
だ
I
ろ。
liked you, right?
それは
Well,
子供の頃だって俺
when
は
we were younger, I always wanted to be
本当は
alone
い
with
つだっ
you.
て
Even
お
Mina
前と二人でいたかったんだ。
Miyasawa was in the way.
南
I
様
wish he would
存
just
在も邪魔だった。
disappear.
こいつどこかへ行ってくれればいいのにって思ってた。
He's really just hitting all the right boxes here, ain't he?
でもお前はいつ
But you
も
always
あい
took
つを
pity
暴
on
れんだ。
her. Wherever you went, Senri was with you. Do you know how much I wanted her to go
一
away?
緒にって俺がどれだけ
Nano's
あいつ
face
をいなく
twisted
なれ
in
ばいいっ
pain.
て思ってたか分かるか。
Jude, as the small catch-up, Mina Miyasawa has been dead for years. Those three were very close friends, and now he's insulting the dead, like insulting her current family and dead friends. Yeah. So, like, he's just laying on the dick moves. Must have hurt her to hear him talk about her friend like this. Normally, Kawahara would have picked up on that, but after coming out in front of so many people and saying that he liked her, blood must have rushed to his head.
やっとだ。
I finally thought I was rid of her. Now you're telling me you've got a family?
南様
What
がいなくなって
the?
しまうと思
Wow,
ったのに。そ
dude,
したら今度は家族だって。冗談じゃない。
dude, that's not how you end up with someone, man. If she liked you back and you liked her, things would have worked out. You don't get rid of everyone else she could possibly like and win by default. That's messed up, right?
宮代なんかより
I know so much more about you than Miyashiro. I understand you. You clearly do
分かっ
not.
てやってる。
Mind you, clearly Takeru doesn't know a ton either. But he certainly does not understand her, or he would have shut up by now. Whew. Come on, Kurisu. Punch him in the face. Punch him in the face. Punch him in the face. Yeah, there was a point where it's like, he's not that bad, because he tried to be a little better back then, and he's kind of disappeared from the story since then. Till now. Kawahara looked straight into Nona's eyes. I could see that his eyes were a little bloodshot.
もう一度言う。
I'll say it again. I love you. You love me too, don't you? You know the answer already, dude. Nono glanced around the room, looking upset, as everyone watched in
受け入れてく
silence.
れるよな。
Finally, she frowned and bit her lip.
川原くんの
I'm
気持ち
happy
は
you feel that way,
嬉しい
Kawahara. Then,
でもごめん
but
な
I'm
さい
sorry, I don't love you
私
back.
川原くんの気持ち
If he could just
受け
read the
取れ
room a little bit, like, he'd clearly tell she didn't feel that way. Why? Well, I mean, if she did, she wouldn't now. But she also didn't. Kawahara's voice rose in anger. When you confess your love to somebody, if they don't love you back, anger is not the answer. Like, yeah, it hurts, don't get me wrong, but anger is not the answer.
どうしてだ
Ever.
よ。
Why? Is it Miyashiro? What is it about him that you like?
そういうところよ
That's the problem.
は？
タクルは私の
He's my
弟
little
よ
brother. Do you think
そうや
anyone
っ
in
て
the world
弟の
likes
こ
it
と
when you
悪く
insult
言
their
われ
little
て
brother?
よろ
弟だって。
He's not your brother. He's a
あとの他人
stranger.
だ。
でも
But to
私に
me,
とって
he's
は
part of
大
my
事な家
family.
族なの
No, no.
彼女の
It's the same with her,
生理の
Senri.
ことだって
I
そう
wasn't with her out of pity. She was my friend.
それに
And she's dead now.
あ
How
の
can
子
you
はもう
talk like that about a
死ん
friend
で
of
しま
yours
ったの
that died?
死んだ友達の
Kawahara looked like he was about to say something. He was about to insult her again, but then he closed his mouth in frustration.
お願いよ
Please, just leave.
クリス。
お願いだから帰って
Please, leave. Calm down a bit. I'm sure that when you do, you'll be back to
そうしたら
being the
いつも
Kawahara
の
I
川原
know.
くんに戻っ
Fine, I'll leave. For now. Is that a threat, sir? Sir, is that a threat? Are you threatening this family? He headed for the door.
くそ。
Damn it! And smashed it shut as he cursed. Damn! The tension drained from the room and I could finally take a breath. Sorry about that, everyone. That must have really scared you, huh, Yuto?
いや僕
I'm glad you told him no, Big Sis Nono.
私もあの人
I don't think I like him. I don't think anybody likes him right now. Didn't seem like Kawahara was very popular. Damn it, game. Do you have to say exactly what I say one line after every time? Not that I didn't know why.
タクルも
Takuru, I should apologize to you too.
いや
No,
僕
I'm
は
used
言わ
to
れ
it.
るの
も
Ah, I know. I'll make some tea. Let's try and cheer up a little.
う気分
Yeah,
変えましょう
nobody would, yeah. Yeah, and Uki likes everyone. The tiny room was soon filled with the scent of British tea, and peace finally returned. Except...
有村
Arimura, what's wrong?
どうし
いえ
Nothing. Arimura would sometimes look at Nono as if she was thinking about something. I bet you she feels bad about bringing him here, is my guess, but I don't know. Oh. Oh. She lied about something. Probably about her feelings about Taku. I don't know. She lied about something, and then the next day.
いやーこの
Man, this room is so
部屋
cold.
寒い
Don't
っ
you
すね
guys have a heater?
おい
Hey,
な
why
ん
are
で
you still
今日
here?
も来るんだよ
Or the center? Yeah, there's a lot of things
だ
there.
からじゃないですか
Yeah. I told you, it's part of our club.
その割には
You
部
don't
活
seem
ら
to
し
be
い
doing
活動
anything
なんて
newspaper
何一
club
つして
related,
ないじゃ
though.
ないか
What did the newspaper club
部長
do?
が指針を示さないからです
That's because you're not giving us any instructions, club president.
しばらくは各自の自
I
主
told
性
you,
に
I'm letting
任せ
people
る
do their own
って言
thing
った
for a
だろ
while.
え
What? But
シス
without
トがない
instructions,
と
poor little Hine doesn't know what to
ねえ
do.
どうしていいかわかん
I wanted to punch her.
ない
I wanted to punch her right then and there.
いいじゃない
I don't see the
どうせ
problem.
毎
We're
日
always
退
bored all
屈
the
してる
time
とこ
anyway,
ろでしょ
right? I can't imagine, like, never leaving, especially a small area shared with 4 people. I can't imagine just not leaving it. See, Kurisu gets it, even if you don't. Oh wow, these cookies are good. Arimura was already digging into the tea and cookies that Nono had made.
もしかして
Is
そ
this
れっておからです
or
か
Okara?
あ、わかる
Oh, you can tell? Someone gave me some okra, so I tried it out.
うん。
Choo choo.
でも嬉しいわ
That makes me happy though. Takuru never understands that stuff.
そんなこと分かったところで
Understanding that stuff has nothing to do with information. Knowledge needs to be used for other
別のところで
purposes.
培うものであって
hmm
はいはい
Right,
わかっ
right,
た
I get it.
わかった
Arimura grinned as she watched us.
何
Oh, what?
うーん
Most
なん
cursed
だ
love
かすっ
triangle
かりおしど
imaginable.
り夫婦の貫禄ですな
Yeah. Wow, you two look just like a couple. Don't be stupid. We're family, so it's normal.
そうよ
That's right,
家
we're
族なんだ
family.
家族ね
Family,
う
huh?
ーん
Chew, 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 chew. Chewing sounds. What?
いえ別にいいです
Nah,
け
it
ど
doesn't matter. Anyway, there's something I wanted to ask you
そ
two
れより
today.
実
That's why
は
I came here.
今日は先輩方
All
に
that
聞き
wasted
たい
time
こと
and
があ
now
ってきた
this?
んですけど
If she wanted something, she should have said so. She also clearly likes hanging out with people.
クルス先輩って
Kurisu, you were friends with that girl named Senri Minamiyasawa, right? Huh? I leaned forward, surprised to be hearing that name now. You remember you were talking about it yesterday, right? So I was wondering about it. Yeah, we used to play all the time in elementary school. It was us two and Kawahara. So what was she like?
どうしてそんなこと聞くの
Why are you asking this?
いやいや
No
ちょっ
reason.
と興
I
味
was
があ
just
り
a
ま
little
して
curious. I was curious too. Senri Minamiyasawa was the girl we'd seen in AH Tokyo General Hospital when I was a kid, the one we'd left behind. I'd always thought that she might be the killer, but now I knew that I was wrong. I'd only seen her for an instant, but she'd had a huge effect on my life. Thinking back, it was strange that I hadn't asked her about it before. Thank you, Kazuki. Thank you. Kazuki must have been interested too, because she was leaning forward and listening intently.
千里は
Senri was a very quiet
お
girl.
となしい子だ
She
った
didn't
わ
like crowds and didn't really
大
play with
勢
the
の
other
中に入
kids.
っでも
But
優
she
し
was
い子
really
だ
nice.
なるほどなるほ
I
ど
see, I see. So tell me about her
じ
family.
ゃあそれは
Well, I'm sorry. I don't really know a lot about her family. Can we stop talking about
で
this?
も
But you were friends, right?
友達だって
Friends don't normally know that much about each other's families, do they? Anyway, I have to get
そ
dinner
れに
ready.
私そろそろ言う
Mm.
ああこいつ
Oh,
は
my
知って
apologies. My journalist blood got the better of me.
何がジャーナリストなの
Journalist blood? You've never written a news story in your life.
それじゃあんま
Anyway,
り
we don't want to stay too long and be a bother. We'll be heading home.
あ
Oh. Yeah, very subtle. Harimura grabbed Kazuki's hand just before she could take another cookie, then stood up.
というわけでお
Walk us home, Miyashiro? Huh? Why me? Because she wants to tell you that she's lying. The killer hasn't been caught yet, right? No real right-sider will let two defenseless girls go home alone in these conditions. It's got nothing to do with being a right-sider. Okay, we're going to borrow Miyashiro for a little. See you around. Wait, I still didn't say I'd... Kazuki's like, you're coming with us. Just... I ended up walking them home despite my protests. I like the concept that Kazuki's the muscle. Why did I have to do this? I wasn't even sure why they'd come over for anyway. And on top of all that, Arimura had fallen strangely silent. She doesn't want to tell you. I mean, she wants to, but she doesn't want to. Kazuki was always quiet, but experience had taught me that whenever Arimura wasn't talking, it meant trouble. Kazuki busted her. Of course, it usually meant trouble when she was talking, too. We walked along in silence before Arimura finally opened her mouth. Kurusu is lying. Yeah. What? And she's hiding something about Senri Minamiyasawa. My heart thudded loudly. This is not news to us, to be fair. How can you tell? We still don't know what she's hiding. We are not... We know she's hiding something about her. How can I tell? You know about my power, right? That's true, but she was lying. Nona was lying. To me, yes, constantly, all the time. I was worried about Senri Minamiyasawa as well, but between the two, that was the bigger shock. Is it, though? Are you, sure? Want me to show you my power again? I could see her D-sword floating out of the corner of my eye. No, that's fine. Nona was hiding something. But why? I actually figured it out yesterday. You know, when she was talking to Kawahara about her? Kurusu said that Senri Minamiyasawa was dead, but... Was that a lie? Then is Senri Minamiyasawa alive? At least that's what Kurusu thinks. She was alive. Senri Minamiyasawa was alive. But why would Nono have to hide that? And she said she didn't really know much about her. That was a lie, too. What Arimura was saying was probably true. Nona knew Senri Minamiyasawa very well, and she believed that she was alive. Why did she think so? There were two possibilities. One was that she knew for a fact that Minamiyasawa was actually alive. The other was that she wanted to believe. Yeah, it's the fake that really brings it to mind. If she'd constantly said she thought Senri was dead, then... Well, at this point, we know Serika Onoe is behind the murder, so maybe it doesn't matter, but it was bothering me. Anyway, Miyashiro, can we go the rest of the way on our own? Oh, we can go the rest of the way, not a question. Miyashiro? Ow, what's wrong, Kazuki? Why did you just scratch me like that? That hurt! I've been talking, you've been spacing out, that's why, right? Oh, I see. Should I maybe not have said anything? Oh, no, it's fine. It's not a big deal. Really? I hope so. I said goodbye to the two of them and then headed back to the apartment. All the way back, I couldn't stop thinking about the fact that Nono might be lying to me. No. Why? For what purpose? The same question kept spinning around in my mind. No secrets between family members. Keep this promise no matter what, so that we don't get torn apart again. Yep. Nono was the one who'd said that. No secrets, no lies. That was the one promise that kept us together, but she breaks it constantly. To be fair, so did Taku, but he stopped that. He only lied about being on the case, which again, still lied when they'd promised not to. No, but like, she's just no secrets. Oh, welcome back, Takeru. When I got back, Nono was the same as ever. Did they get home okay? Yeah, I only saw them part of the way though. There was no sign of the awkwardness that had been there when she was talking to Arimura, but...
あのさ、
about what we were talking about before.
さっきのって
Before?
南沢千
About
里
Senri Minamiyasawa.
ごめん
I'm sorry, can we not talk about that?
どうして
Why?
だって
Because it really hurts to remember a dead friend.
ご飯もうすぐできる
Dinner
か
will be
ら
done soon. Can you clear off the table? Fine.
わかったよ。
It's obvious that Nono was avoiding talking about Senri Minamiyasawa. Very obvious. Maybe it didn't matter at this point. But still, something was bothering me, like a thorn pricking at my heart. Senri Minamiyasawa. Maybe I needed to learn more about her. Oh, at its finest. It was one thing to decide to learn more about Senri Minamiyasawa, but the question was how to go about it. I asked Kunosato and Shinjo, but they didn't have much to tell me. They knew nothing beyond what we'd found in the basement of AH Tokyo General, which meant that I had to ask someone who did know. To be honest, I wasn't happy with the idea, but I didn't have much choice. Oh, there's only one other person who does know. If I wanted to talk to him, this was the best place to catch him. Nono would ask questions if I left the house in my school uniform, so I went without it. That meant I stood out like a sore thumb. I recognized some of the students passing by, but they didn't pay any attention to me. They just chatted with their friends as they walked by. I waited for about 30 minutes. Finally, he appeared from the other side of the school gate. Miyashiro? Kawahara frowned when he saw me. I knew he didn't like me, but he also probably felt awkward after what had happened yesterday.
その
I wanted to talk to you. Is that okay?
話があるんだけど
もしかして
Did you come to declare
俺に
war
さ
on me?
なんだ
What? You didn't come to tell me to keep my hands off Kurisu. If you did, I was prepared to respect you.
そ
A
れなら
little.
少しは
あ、
No, he wasn't. Oh, Kawahara seemed to misunderstand how things stood between me and Nono.
で
So?
え
Huh?
話があるんだ
You wanted to talk, right? So
だったら
talk.
さっさと言えよ
Kawahara didn't even bother to hide his irritation with me. People were staring at us as they walked by.
その
Could we maybe talk somewhere
も
else?
し
Kawahara sighed and started to walk. I followed him.
この辺でいいだろ
This place is good enough, right? He was standing on the side of a road without even a bench. Felt like his way of saying that he didn't want to talk for long.
早く言えよ
Out with it, just so we're clear. I don't even want to see your
お
face.
前の顔すら
I
見
could
た
tell
くない
from
ん
his
だ
tone that his hatred towards me was building. But I felt the same way. I just wanted to ask him my questions to get the hell out of here.
その
You were friends with Senri Minamiyasawa, right?
南
南沢
Minamiyasawa?
お前がなんで急にあんな
Minamiyasawa?
奴
Why
ら
are
と
you
聞き
asking
たが
about
るん
her
だ
all of a sudden?
それは
Well, there's something I was curious about.
別に
Not really.
南沢は
Kurisu and
クリスと仲が良かっただけ
Minamiyasawa
で
were friends. I never thought of her
俺はあ
as
い
a
つのことを
friend.
友達だなんて思って
I
な
could
い
tell that from the way he acted the other day.
その
What was Minamiyasawa like?
そんなこと
Just ask Kurisu if you want to know. She was a lot closer to her than I
クル
was.
スは
Kurisu says she doesn't really remember.
覚えてない
She doesn't remember? That's impossible. Even I remember, and Kurisu spent a hell of a lot more time with her than I did.
例えば
For example? Kawahara glared at me, but then he sighed and started to talk.
南沢は初めて
Ever since I first met her, Minamisawa was always creepy.
いつも暗い顔
She was always pale and gloomy, and she mumbled so much you could barely hear what she said. Her only role in life was to make Kurisu look better by comparison. Kind of like you, maybe.
まんまクルスの引き立て役だよ
He laughed. He wasn't even trying to hide his disgust with me
そういう
anymore.
とこ
But I didn't
お
care.
前に
それ
So,
かその
what about her family?
彼女
あ
Huh? Oh, I think her parents were caught up in some weird cult?
確か
新興宗教
Cult?
名前までは
I don't
忘れ
remember
ち
the
まったけど
name, but every Sunday she had to go to some facility.
どこっつって
I forgot where it was. I think it was under some big hospital, she said.
AH
AH Tokyo General Hospital?
そこだよそこ
That's the place. What, you know
な
about
ん
it?
だ
いや
Yeah, this guy's just a dick. No, not really. So Senri Minamiyasawa had been going there after all. But wait, did that place belong to some cult back then?
ああ
Come to think of it. He must have started to remember as he talked, because he was speaking faster and more clearly.
いつも長袖着て隠してたけ
Gonna
ど
get scot-free. Yeah, so far.
そして
So far.
腕に
She always wore long
ス
sleeves to hide it, but I caught a glimpse of her arms in gym class one day, and they were covered with needle marks.
だんだん学校も休ん
Then
で
she started skipping school. Thinking back, there was probably something shady going on. So my parents told me not to have anything to do with her, but she was hanging out with Kurisu all the time, so Kawahara's tone became sharper and angrier as he remembered the past. As I listened to him, of course, I was remembering the girl named Senri Minamiyasawa. I was sure her parents had taken her to that research lab. She was undergoing experiments there every week. The goal, of course, was to awaken her Gigolomaniac powers. Didn't know if her parents had agreed to the experiments, but it's easy to imagine that she hadn't wanted to do them herself. And there was one more thing I could tell from this conversation. That was... Hey, did Kurisu know about this? Of course she did. Like I said, she was a lot closer to Minamiyasawa than I was. Minamiyasawa would always talk to her about problems, and she knew a lot more about her parents than I did. What I told you is something I actually learned from her. I see. Is that all you wanted to talk about? Yeah, thanks. What the hell? Why did I have to... I bowed to Kawahara and turned to go. Hey, Miyashiro. Heard his voice behind me. Tell Kurisu to start coming to school, and if anything happens to her, I'll make you pay for it. Okay. Once he was done talking, he walked off. But to be honest, I didn't care. What was important was that... I'm sorry, I was friends with Senri, but I don't really know a lot about her family. Can we stop talking about this? Nono was lying to me after all. Constantly. Nono was hiding something. Yeah. Something involving Senri Minamisawa. You knew this already. Even after she'd promised. Yeah. That she wouldn't keep any secrets. Which meant that was a lie too. Yup. Again, I truly don't feel like Nono is a bad person, but she's clearly, unsubtly keeping all the secrets. It is also, unsubtly, the end of the night. This is a logical scene change. So we're ending it here and we're picking this up tomorrow. So yeah. Just... keeping... That's a lie? No. No lies. Yeah, it's 11:57. We could try to do this scene, but there's no way it ends in 3 minutes, so this is the logical ending point. Even though it has background music. It's fine, don't worry. That's where we're going to end it for now. Tomorrow we're doing more of this. Monday, Tuesday is Neon White. Thursday we're finishing up Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Friday is GU. We're doing an old school GU night. Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate on Switch. That's the plan for the whole heckin' week. That's a good heckin' plan too, so yeah. Hopefully I won't be super late tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we get some answers from her tomorrow. Something. But that's what we got for now. Gotta leave off with sad piano music. Anyone we could read tonight? Someone going, maybe? Toss it to Destra. Vespa's still going, but all Vespa's streaming lately is Disco Elysium, a game that I have purchased with full intent to play / stream that is story-based, so I really don't want to hop in there. So, we'll, play Destra plays. Got ourselves a monster, a quote, a Discord. I started the bot tonight. It might have disconnected, but I started it. Yeah, disconnected. Happens sometimes. Then a monster and Discord, as well as no sound effect I could do to top that. That's it. That's the one. That's it. I was like, what do I put? No, that's it. That's it right there. Perfect. So yeah, Destra's playing some Final Fantasy XIV. It looks like doing Innocence Fight? Yeah, the Innocence Fight. Probably EX, but I'm not sure. It might not be EX. It might be Roulettes. Not sure. Yeah. Oh, even if I forget now, I'll remember when I go to upload it. So, like, if I do forget, when I go to upload it, I'll see the marker, and I'll remember then. So, if it's not edited tomorrow, it'll definitely be edited Monday. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. We have a few extra shoutouts before the timer runs out. We had Sir Jude with the Tier 2 51-month resubscription. We had Grim dropping a gifted sub to It's 250 for the 250th gifted sub. We had Ramen dropped a gifted sub to What Number Is This? Grim gifting a sub to Hand as a random gift. And everybody in chat hanging out, having a good time. Mild depression, the usual stuff. But yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching. This has been Viper of Viperland. We have 5 seconds before the auto host goes away. See you all next time.